fait comme des morceaux de carton, là. C'est ça, il devient fou.
Comme faut laisser de faire des catapultes. Il a mis comme des cuillères avec des verres d'eau. Puis là, il dit si je mets un morceau ici et que lui décide d'y aller, ça va faire une catapulte. Mais il a juste décidé d'enlever tous les verres d'eau un par un. Il est comme mais qu'est-ce que tu fais? Bon, je te laisse tranquille.
Je t'aime aussi. Welcome to 10 minutes of my life.
Some
no.
of that is on recording, by the way. Not all.
Well, if we've already started recording, how is everybody?
Good.
Good.
I
Busy day.
found
Good.
something weird with the recording of last week. It's like half missing.
What do you mean?
Uh-oh.
I don't know what the fuck happened, but the file starts when we're like halfway in the session. Even though I touched nothing on OBS.
Well, I know there was one of the recordings where we barely hear you.
Some of the first sessions you don't hear me at all because for some reason OBS didn't capture me.
Mm-hmm.
It did not capture my input, just everything that was sent to me, which is just a different problem. That's been fixed for a while now.
Yeah.
If there's some where my audio is too low, let me know. I might have missed that, and I'll just adjust my own settings with OBS.
I don't know. Right now, everything seems perfect.
Well, we'll see what the recording says.
And also, thank you, Winter, for telling me to listen to it at like 1.5 speed. It's true.
Oh yeah, man.
Kiki's laughing. It's fucking hilarious.
1.5 speed. Yeah.
Yep.
Where do people listen to like stuff at 1.5 speed? That makes no sense to me.
What do you mean? You absorb it faster.
Yeah,
After a while of
Like
listening,
tutorials,
at 1.5
stuff
speed,
like that.
Yeah, you don't notice the speed after a while, so you just listen to it faster.
Don't you listen to like some tutorials in high speed?
I listen to some tutorials about different things, but not at high speed. At least not on a first listen. I can understand if you want to like refresh yourself on a few listens later.
There's a lot of things I listen to in a fast mode.
Bro, you just unlock a new kink now. God damn.
Everything with you is like more kinks anyways, so.
But I haven't thought about this in that way. Now I'm like, fuck, I need to stop like forgetting Rule 34, you know?
Yo, the little freckles on the engineer. So cute. Kevin's like, oh no. Oh no, they're hot.
I just love the gunner. It fits so well.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely psychotic. Not the gunner, sorry, the driller.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
For the second time. Hello. Third time, I guess. How are y'all? How was y'all's day? Was it good?
It was
Good.
Are
Busy.
y'all ready for another session of hopefully less pain?
I had to
Yes.
move a bunch of boxes containing old paper bills around in the office today. That was not fun.
That does not sound like fun.
Yeah, it's not part of my normal stuff that I have to do, but they had like too much stuff upstairs at some point, and they're like, "Hey, Alex, you're like one of the 3 men in this office, and the only one that's not above 60. Can you move them downstairs in storage?" Yeah, guess sure. Thank God that's like not my normal job. I'd quit instantly.
I had the most unproductive day possible. I woke up at like 2 p.m.
That sounds like a good vacation.
Yeah, 2 p.m. I slept. I took a nap. After waking up, then I played Deep Rock Galactic with Chris. And then I played an hour of Apex, and now I'm here.
Not terrible.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to make it up the rest of the week. I have in my opinion, a relatively busy week, so I'm preparing for it.
All right. What do you guys remember from the last session?
You fucking killed.
Yep.
The bookkeeper.
I did no such thing.
Yes, you did.
Oh, speaking of bookkeeping,
I'm sorry. Alan killed him.
I'm sorry, what? How dare you? Alan, quote unquote, killed him.
What is making that
what is
noise?
this?
It's me.
Bottle cap.
Sorry. Yeah, it's the bottle cap. You know the Snapple's iced tea bottle cap,
Oh, yeah, those. Okay. Yeah.
and it's triggering my ADHD.
Your fidget
Like
spinner genes.
yeah, instead of doing, I'm doing this.
Oh, I haven't heard that sound in a while. Yeah, you
My
need
daughter-
your fidget spinners.
Right.
Yeah.
We're at the shop right now.
So you guys remember being at the shop?
We're in the cram scene.
All right.
Yep.
Aside from that event, what do you guys remember?
I requested the Ramona to try and bring him back, like guns, right? Bombs.
Like gone. Yes.
Calm.
And she ripped out the heart of Vital. So yeah. We'll see how it goes.
And further before that, what do you guys remember as a session before that big event?
Shopping and then Alan. But not actual Alan, just Alan.
Okay, cool. So we'll take it off right back where we were, which was, as you guys remember, at the shop, the scene of the crime,
Uh-huh.
and you were there with Ramona. You didn't bring anybody else, just Ramona.
Just
And if you remember, you arrived at the scene to find the door ajar, open. And you also remember finding Vital torn in half.
His
At
name's
one
so
end.
ironic now.
At one half, each half at opposite ends of the room.
Oh.
And further away, you guys should also remember having seen the Litany of Tearing torn in half.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
And also what appears to be a circle of the real.
So, an attempt was made at it. And then yeah.
The circle of the real, was it him trying to recreate the thing I just gave him, or
Would you
is it something
like to
else?
take an intellect check to see what
Yeah.
you can find out? Anything that pertains to investigation will work for this. Or something similar. I believe at least one of you has something related to
Yeah, Eric, I think, has that. Last time I remember.
I most certainly do not.
You don't have something for investigation?
that. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. You use it all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wait.
Hilarious,
No,
this is the one time that you're not thinking about using it.
No, I'm thinking of something else then, because I have a inability in certain types of intellect.
Well, what do you have bonuses to?
Involve train interactions involving lies or trickery. Defense rolls to resist mental effects, which I have not been the victim of much mental effect.
You are correct.
Train all task involving, we're used to this one, where identifying dangers, power, function, important. You'd say that it applies here?
In particular,
Okay.
you should find the part of quality and importance and function for power. Those
That's
definitely
such a great roll.
apply.
And then I have an inability at like studying or retaining trivial knowledge. which has not really come into play so far.
Nope, because none of the shit that you guys have. Oh, trivial or
Oh, there's more to
yeah,
that.
trivial knowledge.
Such as, did you know echidnas have a 4-pronged penises?
You were
I
never good at
wouldn't-
studying or retaining trivial knowledge. The
I did know
difficulty
this.
of any task involving lore, knowledge, or understanding is increased by 1 step,
Okay.
which is, for me, has not really come into play so far.
No, it has not. But one of the key parts of that one is going to be with trivial knowledge. That's one of the things that I'm going to be using to determine on whether or not I apply that,
Okay.
as opposed to the extremely broad increase by 1 step lore knowledge.
Well, it does really,
Okay.
if you keep reading it, it does mention the difficulty of any task involving lore, knowledge, or understanding, which is relatively broad.
I mean, it is extremely broad, but it's meant to be open to interpretation.
Yes.
And that's for the case of like never good at studying or retaining trivial knowledge. Don't worry, I'll apply it where
No, I trust you.
I see fit. And I don't see a point on having it be a burden to keep you from like one of the main themes of
Mhm.
the game,
No,
which I feel would
I
be
trust your judgment, Game Master.
cool. Let it be known that it has been recorded today, this day, the 17th of July.
This Monday, past 8 o'clock in the evening, East Coast time.
When Eric rolled a 5.
On something
Trained,
that I'm
but still
trained.
a 5. So both of you recognize that it's definitely a circle of the real. It looks like something was attempted here. But that's about as far as you guys have got.
All right. I'm also gonna take a look at it, see what the ritual looked like and such.
Also, no
Okay.
ambiance.
Are you doing a oh yes. Good call. It's hard for me to hear actually. I'll see if I can switch it up next time for the ambience music.
It's at your discretion.
I'm guessing perception is fine.
Sorry?
If I want to take a look at the ritual circle.
Are you just going to like glance at it, or are you trying to glean information from it?
No, I want to glean information from it. I want to
Okay.
see like if
Like
it's been
investigate what's
completed,
going on.
if it's familiar, if I've seen it before, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've definitely seen it before.
Okay, I've definitely seen it before.
You've seen it before because it's a circle of the real, and you've seen both Diaz, Diaz and Manuelo
Mhm.
having drawn these. Mind you, this one is in a much larger size.
Right, but it's the ones that are meant to repel other aspects, right?
As far as you can tell, it is a circle of the real.
That's it. That's all
Yep.
I can tell. Okay.
Yep. It's similar. It's extremely similar, if not the same, as the ones that you've seen used to repel.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I put the distinction is that you'll notice that in a lot of the rituals, I'll say that part of the ritual is to draw a circle of that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So the circle is seen as a bit of an ingredient, so to speak.
Okay, well, if I already know that, the second thing I wanted to do was just quickly check around the place to see if whatever killed him is still here.
Okay. Go ahead
Just
and give
check
a
it.
second. I'm just going to turn off the.
Oh,
Got a slight
man.
buzzing back there.
that's good. That's good. We're getting rid of the bad rolls.
If only
As
it
far as
worked
you
like
can
that,
tell.
huh?
Yeah, if only it worked like that.
As far as you can tell, whatever was here It is not here anymore.
Still under shock. Finding that
The place
vital
does
loss
look
all its
ransacked.
things. Oh, okay.
But that is obvious to all of you. It's not simply that
Mm-hmm.
you found vital in his area, torn in half and all that. No, the actual shop itself has been turned upside down.
I'm gonna start looking around to find anything, books, papers, anything that might have been left behind.
I also want to find anything of value we can like poach from the place.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like Vital's gonna use it.
You're right. You found a couple of books, but they're not of the occult, as far as you can tell. They just seem to be regular ones. There's some of the few that are in good shape. Everything occult-wise appears to have been ransacked.
God damn it.
Torn
Yep.
pages are a little bit everywhere. There's scraps, but not nearly enough for you to make out anything useful. Especially considering a lot of the studying that you guys do usually ends up piecing together clues within these books. And so, clues scattered across pages that you can hardly even puzzle back together.
Okay.
appears
Even
to be
though the
useless.
books that we sold to him, I'm guessing, are gone.
Yep.
Okay, what I'll do is I'm gonna try to erase the circle of actually.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Manuelo, does the circle look well made, or does it look like there's a mistake in it?
Well, it's a circle of the real. So nothing else on that.
Because you've seen more circles than I have, so I was just wondering.
If I inspect the body, do I have some form of clue as to is it the ritual that went bad, or did he really just die from the litany?
When you inspect the body, the first glance that you notice is that he's most definitely torn in half.
Yeah.
The way that he's been torn in half, though, does seem suspicious. Would you like to investigate further?
Yes, definitely.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Involving identifying blah blah blah.
Yep.
All right. On dice roll.
And
God
the
damn it.
thing. I'd like to true sight.
Okay, I'll get to your true sight right after.
Yep.
To answer what you notice, Eric,
Mhm.
there's just too much blood everywhere to be able to tell. As far as you can tell, he's been torn in half, whether it was by blade or magic, or you're really not sure.
God damn it.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll for true sight, Shima. I now remember you also have mental armor, is that right?
Yep.
Cool. So
An
you
armor of 2.
don't take anything. That's the fucking thing. Anyway, so you true sight, and at this point, you've gotten familiar enough that you're able to open and maintain true sight relatively easily now. And this is not because of your armor. This is actually because you've used it more frequently than anybody else in the campaign.
Does that mean I'm trained now?
Yep.
For real?
Yep.
Okay.
Add yourself trained in true sight. You open the familiar sort of eye behind your eyes, and you peer into the bookshelf. And the first thing you notice is just how crowded the area is. Crowded with what appear to be spirits there's little tiny creatures everywhere of all sorts of different shapes, sizes, and colors, almost as if this area was almost more of a hub for the spirits, more so than in other areas where you'd see maybe a couple passing by. In this case, over here, there appears to be a lot more influence everywhere with these little tiny spirits as they crowd around each little corner, some of them hiding behind slight mounds of torn pages and books strewn across the floor, and others hiding behind corners the moment that they realize that you've spotted them. As you glance around the room, there's definitely a suspicious lack of aspects showing up.
Mhm.
Nothing that you would find outside of what's on you and your companions. There's little bits here and there, like remnants from torn pages and stuff that appear to be fading slowly. But aside from that, nothing's coming out.
And the spirits, are they human or there's something else?
They're definitely something else. They're not human. They don't have a human physique. Like these little spirits, they range in size from like the size of your fist to even sometimes smaller creatures that somehow will have like either a multiple of legs, like 3 or 5, and they skittering about. Some of them looking like a little tiny sort of ghoul that's crouched out in the corner and just kind of staring at you from the corner. Others just kind of floating around like ethereal jellyfish.
I'll try to approach one that doesn't seem too scared of me and try to like see if I can communicate with it.
Okay. As you walk around the room, a lot of them flee from you. I'll call them floaters. A lot of the floaters that seem to not have any sort of sight, you just seem to drift past as if they're not even aware of your own presence. And some of the few that are there, the majority of them end up fleeing. The tiny ghoul in the corner staring at you has remained.
I'll go forward it, towards it,
Okay.
slowly, like showing telling him like I mean you no harm. Just want to see, do you understand what I'm saying? Were you there when it happened? Do you have any information? You saw
You
what
see its
happened?
eyes kind of darting, looking at your features sort of very rapidly, faster than what a normal human would. And it bares its teeth, all of them fangs that are protruding out of its mouth forward. Its lips were barely even able to cover them in the first place. You don't hear anything.
I'll step back and so you said like there wasn't any aspect specifically that was like still outgoing. There was only like you said like
Little
like
remnants.
little remnants that are like fading away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something I wish I knew was there more prominent aspect back when Vital was alive here?
Not particularly. It was definitely a very big mixture. Back from what you guys remember, it would be there was definitely a lot more
Oh, so there was more.
beforehand.
And I'm guessing the circle of the real is giving off a lot of the real.
Yes.
Okay, I'll actually break the circle.
Okay.
Oh, good call. I'll help him.
So two, you go forward, and you notice that not only did Vital actually take the time to do the proper motions, he did them on an impressive scale. And in some of the areas, some of the lines appear to be gouging into the wood surface underneath. And so you guys find an area where it's not so deep, and you break the circle.
As soon as they do that, I'd like to true sight.
Go ahead and give me a roll. Take two.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up seeing a very similar, essentially the same sort of description as what I mentioned with the floaters and everything. You notice after that the seal is broken, that particular circle is no longer giving off that aspect.
Okay, but I don't notice any.
There
other
are
aspects.
still, you don't really see any prominent aspects aside from that.
Okay.
And there is still a large amount of creatures just kind of harboring the area.
I want to find the one that looks the most. How to say? Sentient looking?
Okay.
I don't know how else to describe it.
That would be the ghoul.
That would be the ghoul.
Or
Still?
what
Okay.
looks like a ghoul, yes.
Okay. When you say ghoul,
Yes.
what do you mean?
I
I'm
mean,
sorry,
that
ghoul
is-
is a very
it's a-
wide term, so.
I suppose it is a very wide term.
Is it like
Ghoul is
goblin?
in the sense that, like, yeah, it's kind of like a little goblin. Like its skin looks decayed. Its skin is definitely a different color, like sort of like a yellowish, almost a yellowish green.
like an undead goblin?
Maybe like a
essentially?
pile. Yeah, in some areas it's pale or darker with like kind of like sooty almost.
Mhm.
Its teeth are fangs that are jutting out forward and they sort of curve outwards and they sort of interlace in a very strange way. That kind of mouth that it has does not look like it would be useful for eating whatsoever.
But it does look
it's
like
got-
it could bite me.
Sorry?
It does look like it could bite.
Yes.
Okay.
It definitely looks like it could bite, and if it did, it would probably be really painful.
Right.
It also has large, sort of beady black eyes almost. Like
Mhm.
the eyes don't have an iris or anything, but you can tell with like the eyelids around it are almost just slightly chameleon-like with like the kind of skin folding.
Okay.
So like while you don't have an iris, you can still tell what direction this thing is looking.
Fucking weird. I'm gonna
Yes.
turn to Manuelo because I saw him like, speaking to something unseen. Is it in the
You
same
know-
area that he was when he was interacting with it? I'm gonna ask him. So this guy didn't give you anything, Manuelo?
Well, it kind of snarled at me, but I didn't hear anything, so I don't think there's going to be any way to communicate.
What are you two
Oh.
talking about?
Oh, there's this little creature there. You can only see it if you true sight.
Oh, all right.
There's a lot of little creatures crawling around.
I'll try to true sight
Little-
myself
Little,
since
little
it's being brought to
creatures.
my
There's
So you said it's mute, right? Maybe in writing? I'm gonna
Go ahead and
search.
give a roll, Alex.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wait.
very intellect.
Yep.
one,
So many clicks. 13.
You seem to have an easier time with it. Only take 1 damage. You see a very similar case of the same sort of description. I'm not going to go over it
Mm-hmm.
again.
Ooh.
And Yeah.
What the? Is this normal to see when you use this?
I mean, I assume it's because of the shop and what he was doing.
Could be
Probably
dead.
attracted a lot of these things. I'm gonna try to write something on a piece of paper, and I'm just gonna write like "nod if you understand." I'm gonna show it to the ghoul.
Okay. It looks at you and it nods.
Guys, it can't understand us. It just can't peek back. I'm gonna take a whole notepad and a pen, and I'm gonna write on the notepad like, can you tell us what happened to the shopkeeper? And I'm gonna hand him the notepad and the pen.
As you hand over the notepad and the pen, sorry, I was distracted. I thought I was getting attacked on Discord. As you hand over the notepad and the pen, the creature makes no gesture to go and grab it. Instead, it seems to recoil back a little bit, almost as if it looks like it's getting ready to pounce. But
Oh,
instead of doing so, it opens its mouth impossibly wide, the fangs revealing this sort of deep darkness inside. And out you hear thousands of whispers, just like a torrent, washing all over the three of you. Each of you give me a perception check to make out something intelligible.
Not me.
oh man.
Oh,
I'm gonna put in some effort.
No pressure or anything.
Oh God.
What the fuck?
what were you saying about all the battle rolls out of the way?
That was a lot of bad rolls.
That was a lot of bad rolls.
I miss us having our actual physical dice at the chalet.
As the torrent is going across each of you, Eric, you can't quite make out anything. It just sounds like 1,000 voices all whispering, trying to catch your attention. Same thing with you, Manuelo. Alan, you hear something entirely different.
Fuck.
Alan Green, welcome back. I knew you'd be back. I knew you'd come here and I knew you'd speak to me. I knew you would stare back at me. For the slightest fleeting instant, that is what you hear. And a pain washes through your brain.
Oh.
Take 2 damage. Intellect.
Oh. What the fuck is this thing doing?
I have no idea what that thing is saying. I can't make heads or tails of it.
Too many voices.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand the notepad and pen like with more vigor, like while like wincing, like just take them and write instead, please.
As you do so, it recoils back again and it doubles up with the actual volume of the
Oh
whispering.
god damn it!
Each of you give me once again
Oh,
a
no.
check.
I'll do again with another effort.
What are these rolls,
Ooh.
my guy? Oh, finally.
The roll that
Alright.
doesn't suck.
All right. I bet you're going to roll another one.
No, you already rolled. You got a 6.
Oh,
Yeah, I rolled
I did not
six.
see it. Sorry. So, on that second batch, Alan, you didn't hear anything. Shima and, sorry, Manuelo and Eric, the two of you end up hearing intelligible voice, a single one actually. All the rest of the whispers kind of fade to the background, and you hear sort of a narration of the events that happened, or at least as far as you can tell, that's what it sounds like. And what you hear is as if a couple of people who are already dead are speaking as if they were in a play. And each of these people who are speaking are representing different people are different actors in this play, and the main actor being Vital. Another one sounding completely distorted, broken. Each and every single time it speaks, it's as if everything that comes out just gets jumbled and rearranged, where front and back are completely random in the speech. It's rather jarring. And this play takes place as Vital doing the circle, prepping and trying to summon something. Despite having read the manuscript and having read that it wasn't a ritual for summoning, it's as if Vital had done his best, or at least this person who's speaking as if he's Vital is going over the motions of, I figured it out. I know how I can do this. I can further this research. I can bring something useful, something new. I can breathe new, fresh breath into this world, and I will. And he goes on with the summoning. And it's thus where the second actor comes in with this broken voice, distorted screaming, one of hatred and pain as it comes in. And hearing Dead Vital speak as if trying to defend himself, tearing the litany, the creature having been affected, but not dead. And then Vital describing himself being torn in half, and seeing his legs being tossed aside easily, and then him thrown to the other side, and the creature escaping.
Throughout all of this, is there any description of what the creature looks like?
All accounts from the actor of this strange, macabre theater of dead voices, all accounts of the creature are met with this jarbled, incomprehensible voice that is usually either screaming in some form of strange, disordered pain or anger. But no actual description of what the creature was.
So I don't know if it was a creature from the Rio.
The closest thing that you can gather, and the only thing that would be the closest thing to a description that you can get on the actual creature, would be from Vital's description of him having been torn in half, being
And then-
held up and
Mhm.
having his legs tossed, and then him afterwards tossed the other way.
Whatever that thing was really strong. Is there any description that would point us to who took the rest of like every book that was in the store, or does the story ends at Vital getting killed?
The story ends with Vital getting killed. Everything leading up to it is a mixture of Vital going through his stuff, scrabbling to try and get as much clues as he can, and then the ensuing fight and self-defense, sending everything else into utter chaos.
Right. Okay.
There's no mention on anything being grabbed or ransacked outside of that.
I mean, I'm asking questions, but obviously I didn't hear any of that, so it's
Mhm.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm
he's
sorry,
asking
I kinda
question.
forgot
He's
that
not,
part.
but it was still a question I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Like, is that all?
Oh, right. Because
I'm
there's only
sorry.
2 people who had that, and it was.
I'm just assuming like a
Alan.
few seconds from now, like they're gonna tell me everything, and but yeah, I'm sorry, I
Well,
forgot that part.
I would look at after having heard all that, I would look at Manuelo and Alan, see how they react to this.
I would have looked at him. I'm like, you heard that? You
I'm
heard his
just
pain?
shaking my head, just holding my ears.
Yeah, it was a little difficult to grasp.
Seems like he called for something from the real. He
Some
tried to do
strange creature.
something.
Yeah, he altered the ritual in some way and tried to do a summoning instead of the rite that we gave him, and he paid the price.
So it wasn't fake Alan?
Nope. But
It's
now
not
there's
fake Alan.
something else of the real here.
Oh man.
Something strong that can do that. And I show like Vital being torn apart. Like Vital used a litany on the creature, and it didn't seem to have done much. I'm gonna walk towards the litany, and I want to see like, did he roll high or low?
As far as you can tell, he rolled pretty high.
Shit.
In the story that you guys heard, was there any mention of like when it happened exactly?
Well, mustn't have been too
Can't
long
have-
ago
yeah,
because
Can't
we
have been too
just
long.
I mean,
Remo-
because if we don't know who took all the books, maybe somebody came in afterwards.
Or maybe he didn't have that many left at this point.
You think?
that, or the creature destroyed everything, took back everything.
It could be a mix of all of that. He didn't have a
Could-
lot left, and then the
could
place
be
was
that the
ransacked.
Could be that the creature being summoned also attracted Alan, the fake Alan.
It could be that. It would be useful if
You-
there was freaking, I don't know, a camera in this place.
This place doesn't have a camera.
Just
Would
in
be
case, I'm gonna look around, see if there's any cameras.
There are no cameras.
Damn.
There's
You
a-
guys do remember from the last couple of times that you've spoken to Vital, he did mention that he was fresh out.
Oh,
Yeah,
Really?
right.
Mm-hmm.
right.
He was fresh out of stuff to sell.
Right, but the stuff that we sold him is gone also.
Correct.
So clearly, it's been stolen by something or someone. Okay,
Or he's got a stash somewhere.
I was asking
Or we
about the
don't see it.
timeline because I was wondering like how much time was between the moment that he did the ritual and right now. Like, was it hours with the door open where people could just wander in and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna steal stuff," or was it just a few seconds? Which means it would probably be the monster that was summoned who would have stolen the things.
Well, I
That's more what I was
say-
thinking.
Well, I wouldn't say seconds, because one thing or not, there's the time of like him doing the summoning,
I'm
getting
exaggerating.
killed, and then like us learning about it
Yeah.
by Ramona.
Right. I would assume
And-
Ramona had a good sense of it happening very quickly, based on just her natural affinity with this stuff.
Right. Okay. So it would have been pretty much instantaneous. Okay. So
I would say probably under an hour, that's for sure.
As quickly as it took us to get here, which can't be that long.
Exactly.
okay.
Not
So-
super long to get there, but it is a decent amount of time.
Uh-huh.
To have something a little more accurate, you guys could estimate that it's been about an hour and a half since you've seen Vital.
Okay.
Hmm.
So it mostly points towards the monster or the creature having stolen the stuff, but there's still a possibility that it could have been someone else, like Fake Alan.
Could
Okay.
be. All we know right now for a fact is that Vital got killed because he summoned the creature of the real by mistake.
Mm-hmm. And
Well,
I
he did what he wanted, but
The,
it's
the result was definitely not what he wanted.
yeah.
yeah. Because now I understand a little bit more why the prophet call and the real the betrayer.
Ah,
What happened last week with Ramona? Did she try to revive him? I kind of missed.
Right
We
now
asked her.
she has his heart in her hand and she's gonna try and res him.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
gonna try and res him. Okay. I wasn't
Correct.
She's right now she's in the middle of the room looking at us like fucking true sighting, getting headaches and with a fucking bleeding heart in her hands.
Sure. All right, I'm gonna help her like try to connect the two pieces. I guess I'm gonna bring them together to try to help her.
She's looking at y'all and she's saying, You want me to do this here?"
If possible, yeah.
What's the issue
And-
with doing
Or
it?
do you need to be somewhere
She-
specific?
She looks at each of you and she says, "All right, well, if I'm going to do this here, you all have to turn around."
Oh.
What?
Can't look?
Don't. Yeah, that's my rule.
No problem.
Okay.
any- Is it something bad that'll happen to us if we look, or is it just a preference of yours?
Absolutely, yes. Something terrible will happen to you, and she
Insight.
gives you a glare.
Insight.
Go for it.
What do I roll for that? Discerning lies.
Intellect. Discerning lies. Yeah, sure. Deception. You're trying to figure out whether or not she's lying to you or trying to deceive you.
Oh my god.
She's giving you this look right as she says that, and you're kind of trying to like read her, and her look is giving you a mixture of, you can't tell whether or not it's genuinely, because if you see what she does, your brain's going to melt, or if she's going to microwave it for you afterwards.
So I'm not gonna look, but I'm wondering if I keep true sight, will I be able to like feel or know an aspect or something?
Yes.
So I'll keep it on, but I'm like she said, I'm gonna be like looking away from her.
Oh,
Okay.
I won't take any chance and I'll look away.
Okay.
I'll
Ellen?
look away.
Okay.
But
Are either of you
if-
trying to sneak a peek?
No, I'm not gonna try and sneak a peek, but I am going to ask her if she needs anything else before starting it.
She says, "No, I'll do my best with what I have here."
Okay.
And she immediately starts to get to work. You don't hear much. You do hear the slight sort of squelching
Actually,
of, yeah.
is there any like reflective surface, like the window from the outside or something, that I could catch a glimpse while still being very inconspicuous about it?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Eric's gonna die. Eric's gonna
I'm
die.
gonna turn into a pot of salt.
7, not right.
It does 10.
But you're
You do
good,
see something that does look like it'll let you see silhouette, but nothing very clear.
I'll keep a glimpse on that, but I won't like look directly. And if I feel at any point that she has like, she catches on to what I'm doing, I'm definitely just gonna like not look at all.
Okay.
I don't want to get on her bad side.
So, she gets to work, and like I mentioned, you guys end up hearing a couple of wet sounds, just kind of squelching. You're not sure what's going on. And then you start to hear this sort of whisper. But it's like this. It's like three whispers in one.
Yeah.
One of them sounds like someone who's quietly crying. Another one sounds like someone who is just simply whispering. And a third one sounds like someone is either trying to soothe someone or even trying to seduce someone. And this mixture of weird sort of slight of whispers broken up with what is almost like slight sobs goes on for a little bit. And then it stops. And she waits for a moment. And there's nothing but silence.
When it's silent, I'm gonna say, "Is it done?"
And there's still another pause. And then she says, matter of factly, he's not coming back.
Why?
I turn around and I'm like, "Was it his choice?"
I don't think he even heard the call.
Mm. You did warn us that he was already partially through. I
Door.
recall you saying something.
He went through the white door. Or he was going through the white door when I saw him.
You can't call them back when they're at this point.
Might be harder.
She looks at you guys. She says, do either of you know what the white door is?
I'm
No,
guessing it's like now it's like,
like the afterlife
yeah, like going through the light.
or void or something.
For some of us, it will be. Very few go through the white door. He's gone past somewhere, and I cannot reach him.
I see.
Well, at least you tried. Thank you.
I'm going to thank her and like, tu sais, genre, mettre ma main genre sur son épaule et dire genre comme merci beaucoup de thank you for helping us.
As you're doing
Poor
that,
friend.
you notice that she's starting to clean her arms. And as she's wiping down her arms were ornately decorated with Vidal's blood in sigils running up down each of the arms. And she's wiping it clean before you can memorize any of it. And at this point, her arms are just covered in red blood, but she's removing as much of it as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we did what we could here.
I think the next person we should talk to is
Thank you, Pete.
yeah, Stinky Pete.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean.
At this point, you guys are well into the night.
But, let's head back to HQ and wait till for tomorrow to go see Stinky Pete, and we could pass the SAQ to
What
get
if we
some
do?
bottles for him.
Yeah. What do we do with the body? Do we bury it? Do we burn it? What do we do? We can't just leave him here.
So I
Yeah.
still have true sight on the Z. Does his body give off anything?
Not anymore.
Hmm.
I don't feel the need to bury him. If you do, be my guest.
Well, the issue is, if we spend the time doing that, what's the point for us right now?
I don't know. Kind of feels disrespectful to leave him there. Feels wrong, you know.
It feels wrong that he also tried to do this summoning recklessly.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of stupid of him. I don't know why he did that. But that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve, some respect.
Right as you mention the word respect, you see Ramona walk up to Vital's corpse. And you see her peering into his eyes, lifting up an eyelid and sort of looking sort of matter of factly. And then she pulls out a knife. And you see her gathering some of his hair. And she seems
Oh.
to be whispering something.
Or can I try and listen to what she's whispering?
Go ahead.
Perception, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't
Damn.
make out. You don't make out anything.
I'm also going to try to hear what she's saying. Hold on. It's twice as good. Still not great.
I'll also give it a shot, I guess. Well, no point.
Neither of you are able to make out anything of what Ramona's saying. And afterwards, she gets back up, and you see her tying what appears to be a lock of Vital's hair neatly with a bow. And as she does so, and she's holding it, you notice that the hair seems to change color and wither almost instantaneously.
Ooh.
And you see her put it away in a pack. She says, "All right. Nothing else to be done here."
What's the
Agreed.
hair for?
Let's go.
Okay.
And as you guys are walking, she says, "It's rare to find someone who is so close to death and with a certain amount of power to them. The right I'm not even sure how to describe it. You know when a plant grows just the right way and it bears the sweetest fruit? It's kind of like that.
So the hair is like a fruit?
Yes. Sure, why not?
I don't get it, but okay.
That's okay." And she pats your shoulder.
So do we leave this for the cops then? Is that the idea?
Well,
I
unless you want to be with them when the cops show up.
Oh,
no, there's
no,
certainly
no,
not. That's asking for trouble that we don't
no.
need
Yup.
right now.
Yup.
Ramona's already heading out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was already going
Yeah,
out.
I'm
Yeah.
also leaving.
So as you all leave and you start heading back, you find no issue in evading any of the any sight from people. No one's around to see. And the night is eerily quiet.
On the way
You guys,
back, I
yep.
would tell everyone that if it ever gets to a situation where we get questioned about this, we've been a customer to Vital a few times. We're not regulars, and we were just not aware that he died. Just so we all have our story on
story
the same
straight?
page. Yeah, We're all on the same page if we ever get questioned.
All right.
We have like very little connection to him.
So you guys manage on finally to get back to the hideout. Walking into the door, each of you pass down. And some of the denizens of your group are all kind of gathered, awaiting the news. The first to greet you all is, surprisingly, the Lacerator.
I asked him a report from when we went out.
It looks at you and doesn't say much. You get the impression that nothing really happened.
Someone we knew got killed. That's what I'm telling the Lacerator and everyone. Vital. Dead. He
A warrior's
tried-
death.
Could say he fought against a creature from the real that he summoned by trying to modify, and I point towards the Diaz, the manuscript you gave us related to the circle of the impossible angle. He used the circle of the real of it to try and summon something, and the thing he summoned killed it.
Foolish.
He used the litany of wounds,
Litany of Terror.
litany of tearing on the creature. Usually would have killed something, but it seems like it wasn't affected.
The Lacerator seems to understand and know when you mention the litany of tearing, and you see it breathe in this sigh. And there's sort of like as an afterthought, this idea that comes across to you from it. A wonderful story.
Hmm.
Your friend Vital, he crossed the last door.
I look at Ramona, look at him, and yeah.
Was he able to come back?
I just shake my head.
It was not.
And then the Lacerator says, then we have not another Prophet of Wounds just yet. And it turns away.
What?
What?
So
What?
if he came back, he
What?
would have been a Prophet of Wounds?
What? Ah!
I'm missing a bit here.
Yeah, what?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go see the Lacerator. I'm gonna we what? What?
Excuse me? A big excuse
I beg your pardon?
me?
Move! Move, Diaz!
Each of everybody, as you move, Manuel is just with this renewed vigor, just going past everybody. Each of them trying to even just get like a single word of like, "I'm sorry" kind of thing.
Oh, I'm like fuck Vital, man. Dude, you cannot drop this on my lap and walk away.
The Lacerator glances at you.
But I'm gonna actually I'm gonna say like less. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry. Can you elaborate more on? I don't understand. like,
Elaborate what?
if he would have came back from the white door, he would have become a new. He would have taken the place of our of the Prophet of Wounds, or there would have been more.
Would have probably been able to would be another being of power one likely to rival the power of the wounds or to have his power. We seek to go through all openings. We are of the wounds. Everything is a barrier to us.
Dis à ta femme de la fermer, tabarnak. Non, je niaise.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
God damn. So you mean if we die and come back, we can be more powerful?
Why? Of course. Was this not already known? Are you not familiar with the way of the wounds?
I'm getting acquainted
Everything
with the way of the wounds.
a barrier, everything a challenge, everything a portal, a way from A to B and back again. True freedom, true power. Cross from one area to another as you please. If you can conquer all barriers, including the final one, come back through the gates that people usually only cross one way, and you'll inherit some of the power. It looks at you and it says, I have not crossed to that gate, at least not back. I crossed it once, and I became this.
Okay, so okay. Do you remember anything of your old life?
Too far back.
All right. Do you still have more time with us, or is today your last day?
My time approaches, yes. I can feel it pulling.
Okay. Would it be possible to have some of your blood for future rituals?
You wish a gift?
Yes.
What shall you give in return?
This dick. No, it's like-
These nuts.
I don't know if. Wait, one sec. Is he the one who gave me the gift of flesh, or was it the other one?
I believe it was the other one that did this.
Yeah, I think
Because this
the
was the
first
one that,
Yeah,
the first one gave you the gift of flesh. This one came with you from
Yeah,
Texas.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Or actually,
I have a
shit,
way.
'cause- Wait, what?
I have a way.
A way?
Yes. You wish some of my blood, and I wish some of your knowledge.
I thought when you were saying I have a way that you were going to introduce Wei to the session.
No.
What information do you seek?
First, you must release me for the purpose of this ritual.
By memory, releasing him would mean that
Would
he
mean
can.
that it would be able to attack you.
But does he have any reason to attack you?
I'll.
You want to take a bit of time to think about it, and I can deal with the others in the meantime?
Yeah, deal with the others.
Cool.
I'm just listening to this with
Eric.
bated breath.
Eric, what are you doing in the meantime?
Well, as I just said, I'm listening to all of this with bated breath. I'm like,
You're paying mad
Fascinating.
attention to what's going on with
Yes.
Manuela?
I'm more
And
fascinated
Alan?
with this than preoccupied by anything else. If anything, I'm just paying a little bit of attention to the others, seeing how they react to all of this. It's like Diaz and Grash.
Diaz and Grash aren't really paying as much attention as they're just somewhat trying to catch your guys' attention, being like, are you guys okay? We heard.
We've been through a lot last night. Well, this night. Are we past midnight yet? I don't even know.
And it's getting there. Easy.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that the day has been a lot, and we just came back from some bad news that just compounded everything in a bad way. And I would
Yeah,
like,
no kidding.
without being too much into the details, I would at least like keep them up with the general gist of what we discovered. There's a contact of ours went through a ritual incorrectly, or experimented with the ritual, and the result was not what he had hoped. Lost his life, and there's a difficult to deal with threat out on the loose right now.
What do you mean by difficult to deal with threat?
If only I had more information, we could only piece together the things that we saw at the contact's place.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sorry, if you're looking for reassurance, I unfortunately do not have any.
Only time will tell, I guess. And Alan?
I'm just taking this in. He's dead, and this thing is on the loose.
You got
I don't
Grash,
know
who's right next to you,
what to
who's
do.
got like a hand on you. He says, sorry about the loss, man. I gotta tell you though, it was definitely a shock to be told from one dead guy about another dead guy. That's something I'm not used to. And Grash goes and settles down. Let me know if you need anything.
Thanks, man.
You get what appears to be a nod from Gom. And then Ramona takes Gom by the hand and they head off to their corner. Back to the lacerator, who struck a sort of strange ritual, almost salute-like pose in front of Manuelo. What will it be? Blood for information?
I'll release him.
You see it crack its neck and says, "You will gather the blood, but first you must teach me." And you see it take a stance. And it looks definitely like a combat stance. And it's looking at you and it's saying, "Teach me the ways you wound."
When I see a combat stance, I start approaching.
I
Yeah,
put out my hand to tell him to stop, and I'll take out the dagger of wounds,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have the machete in the saw off on the other hand.
Okay.
Wait, sorry to stop you. The ritual, the knife of wounds that you have, is it the one that I gave to you?
Yeah,
Okay, because I forgot to remove it from my inventory.
yeah, I
Just
never gave it
confirming.
back to you. I kept
Okay.
it.
That's okay. All right.
In real life, you told me, "Are you gonna keep it?" And I said yes.
Yeah, I forgot to remove it from my inventory. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You were like, "Dude, I need it for my rituals."
I mean,
But
I
yeah,
do.
we'll always give it to each other
Yeah,
if ever needed.
I'm just pass it on.
And
Pass it along like a good hallway. I said nothing.
so yeah, I'm gonna. What I'll do first is I'm going to entangle force him,
Okay.
and then I'll shoot him and stab him with the knife.
Okay. So go ahead and use the entangled force.
What is it again? Sorry, I'm just gonna show you the thing. Blah 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 blah.
Subject to a snare constructed. Okay. So are you putting any effort to level up the snare?
If I do it, it's intellect. Yeah, I will.
Okay. So you put in some effort. Do keep in mind that armor for intellect does not count
No, yeah, I
towards
know, I know.
effort.
Yeah, I've been taking it out every time I use my effort. That's why I'm already 6 down.
Cool. So you go and you level up, and a stronger burst of the snare arrives from down below, and you see it. For a moment, it starts to move reflexively as if to dodge, and it gets snared by the attack, peering down a little incredulous that you've managed to actually catch it, and it glances back up and it takes the defensive stance once again. You mentioned that your second thing was going to be a
Yeah,
shoot.
the saw off, yeah.
Okay. So you pull off a sawed-off shot. Go ahead. Give an attack roll.
Yeah, and I'm also going to add an edge to it. Effort, I mean.
Okay, yep. Without trouble, you manage to go and slam it with the sawed-off point blank. It tries as best as it can, some of the bullets deflecting off bony spines of it, and you notice it tear into the being, and blood does start to spill. And then you come in for a machete attack afterwards.
Yeah, no, it's the dagger of wounds.
The dagger of wounds?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and step forward and give an attack.
The dagger of wounds is just like the same damage as a regular.
As a regular knife.
Yeah.
So which would be easier to hit, but 2 damage.
And I'll add efforts also on it.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. You go and
nice.
you manage to slip in, and a slight bit of a glow happens with the dagger of wounds, as while what you originally feel as if you've slipped a bit ends up being the dagger almost pivoting in a way better angle and going deeper than what you thought it was going to be able to do as you slice into it. And while you have managed to hit it, you notice that you've got the dagger up to its hilt into the lacerator, and the lacerator's not flinching, and he strikes immediately back. And before you even have a moment to dodge, it gets you across the chest with its sword. Take 7 might.
Ay, ay, ay.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot
Ooh,
of damage.
mama.
Everyone around starts to say like, "Holy shit, is everything okay?" And Grash is like, "There's blood everywhere. What the fuck?" Everyone starts to get closer, and then you hear a simple "thank you" as it appears the lacerator stands down.
As he stands down, I like obviously wounded. Like try to cover the wound, but I'm bowing.
It bows back. And it says, "That weapon of yours," and it appears to be indicating the sawed off. "I'm not used to weapons like that."
It's a good weapon. I've come to be fond of it.
It appears to be good at making wounds. And it glances down at its side that's just pouring with the purplish starry blood.
Oh,
It's just
oh,
dripping at this point.
I'm gonna throw my canteen at Manuelo so he can use it to fill it with the blood. I'm
Did-
gonna say, "Hey, think fast."
I've already got empty files.
Oh, you already?
them.
Okay, no, never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
How many
I've got
empty
four.
vials do you have?
I've got 4 empty vials.
Go ahead and fill all of them if you wish.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so
As the lacerator stands there,
It's like blood.
the lacerator's not the only one who's pissing blood.
yeah, I'm filling them up, and I'm looking at Eric. I'm like,
I'm
I'm getting my car keys. I just throw it at him and like go get the first aid kit.
I was gonna do just that. Yeah. You and I were on the exact same wavelength there.
After getting the blood, I tell him I thank him for the gift.
Okay.
And,
Give me a perception check, actually.
Uh, 6.
There's a sort of tinny kind of smell. It's obviously blood, but you get the impression it's more than just smell.
It's more than just smell of blood.
In the air.
Is it an ambiance?
You can check. Yep. There's definitely an ambience of wounds now. It appears the ritualistic battle that you just took part in seems to have generated an ambience.
Ooh.
Nice.
Are we doing a ritual?
Yeah, I'm gonna seppuku myself, and Romulo's gonna try to bring me back.
Let's cook.
Let's order some DoorDash and do a ritual. Now it's a party.
You know that's kind of
It'll be
scary.
a party when you summon a clown.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
you know,
I still got that funny vial, the poison that I got that's from the Ankh-Mother, I think, or
Yep.
The funny
Yes.
vial.
He's got a funny looking vial.
The last time we went in the dream.
Is it like a vial of the hunk color
Yep.
with liquid in it?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did get something when we visited an area related to the hot water. Were you looking for something to like subjugate people, right?
Yep.
And then we got Dare for some reason.
Cool. So the lacerator looks at you. It does one last bow, and it says, "Now's my time."
I bow down and bid him farewell, and to hope to see him again in battle.
You see, it's instead of committing sort of a seppuku or anything, you see it's with one of its arms, grab a handful of blood, smear it across its blade, and with sort of like this ritualistic motion, make a quick slice into the air, causing a rift. And it walks through, the rift closing behind it.
Am I able to see where he's going from the rift, or is it just like
Sure. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception?
See how much of you can catch before it's gone.
I'll put some effort into it. Almost already seeing blurry because
You can't tell
yeah.
for the life of you what it was. All you saw was just the same starry, purplish, nebulous pattern of the rift.
Now that he's gone, I'll turn around and start like walking quickly to the other
I'm
ones.
gonna like be like go under your arm like to help you walk around.
I would be returning as fast as I can with first aid kit.
So right about this time is when you guys hear a knock and you start seeing the real monsters. I'm joking. It's just I had to look at Manuel's character sheet.
Yeah,
dude, you don't.
And
I can
honestly, I'm
only
having a hard
imagine.
time not laughing.
Dude, when you said 7 might, I'm like, shit.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
Yep.
Issue. I'll be right back.
Oh. We will take a small break then.
Okay.
We'll start with 5 minutes.
My cat
Go
is peeing on her
get
legs
some
and I have to
water.
clean it.
Your cat's peeing on your legs. Oh, that's not what we want to hear right now.
Is it warm?
I mean, whatever. Okay. I'll get some water. I don't feel like getting a drink.
Get something to eat. Is anybody back already?
No, we're still waiting after Kiki
Oh.
and Alex.
I was just seeing if anybody was back.
I
I was
never
surprised
left.
when you were saying that nobody was back. Well, I was going to say, don't be so hard on yourself. Oh, that one. Nope. Oh, hell yeah. Why didn't I think of that?
I'm here. Are we still missing some people?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I expect we might be missing Kiki for a bit after the reveal of why he had to go AFK.
Okay. I'll work on things in the background.
Makes sense. There's always work to do as a GM, so.
Yep.
I bought myself some stuff to make cocktails.
Fuck yeah.
No
dude.
kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, Kiki, have you been here this entire time?
No, I just came back. I just sat down. No, just to clarify, my I don't know how my cat did it, but both my cats are really bad at burying their stuff, right? Um, so the smaller one, somehow both of her hind legs were covered in piss. They were just drenched.
Okay.
So I had to give her like an impromptu like leg bath because she was just like stepping around the house with that. It was very
Just-
gross.
Let me just put my smell everywhere.
Yeah, basically. Like she was cleaning her paws. I was like, "Oh, do you need help with that?" Then I took a Kleenex and I started wiping it, and it just smelled of piss. I was like, "Oh my god!" And sure enough, the litter box had like a huge spot that was not covered at all. I don't know how they do it. They're terrible cats. Terrible as cats. I mean, for doing cat things.
So the amount of times that I've come across a cat that like went to shit and got its shit stuck in its fur and then tried to kick it and flung pieces either across the fucking room and still have some simultaneously stuck to its leg and then having to remove that.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a pleasant time.
It's fucking awful.
Very pleasant. I'm sure Kiki knows what I'm talking about because I'm sure his cats probably went through that.
Oh yeah,
At least
it's fun when
once.
it happens when you're at work and you come back and you find out that your cat's been like spreading
Spreading
it
pieces
all over
everywhere.
the house,
Mm,
and there's like marks on the floor, there's marks on the bed, there's everywhere. Super fun.
great.
Yep,
Very lovely.
fun times.
Oh, all right. That did not look like it was enjoying the upload, so I'll just cancel that. Okay, is everybody back?
Do we have a Shima?
Oh,
Is Jason
That-
there?
fucking dumb bitch.
Well, my cat, yes.
No. The
What?
woman's making some bone broth. So she
Uh-huh.
has a strainer on top of her fucking sink, but she doesn't have another pot at the bottom. And she dumps everything.
Oh.
Wait, I'm
Okay.
sorry, what?
A woman's making some bone broth. So she has
Yeah.
like a huge strainer on top of her sink, but she didn't
Yeah.
think of putting another
A
container at the
pot
bottom.
underneath?
So
So
she
she
just dumped it
strained
in
it
and she
through?
just fucking everything goes in the sink.
So she gets to keep the bone, but not the broth itself.
The bone that's already been used.
This is the reason that I don't go on like TikTok.
Oh
That's
man.
funny.
Funny.
I love it.
I don't need to be exposed to the pits of humanity stupidity.
Well, see, the thing is, if that's what you see on TikTok, it's a reflection of you. If you like funny stuff and you like intelligent stuff, you see funny stuff and intelligent stuff. That's pretty much what TikTok is. It just
So when I
caters to
keep
you.
when I keep seeing
I'm gonna keep saying that.
nasty stuff.
It's because we're nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that.
Damn.
It's like this with every, like, Instagram is the same thing.
Mhm.
They're all garbage until the algorithm knows you, and then it's only stuff that you like anyway. So there's nothing wrong with it.
It's like the old mans in Congress saying like I'm on TikTok and all I'm seeing is a young woman dancing with their ass off.
And then stop
Yep.
liking young women dancing with their ass off.
I mean, to be perfectly fair, I think that's the default thing that appears on TikTok when you don't have any algorithms.
It
We found a dude
does,
who
but then you,
likes
you can
young
just like
women dancing.
swipe it and it stops showing after a while. But if you like a video,
The more you look at it,
then it's if
the
you keep
more
like
it's
watching
gonna
it
send you
over
to
and
it.
over,
No.
Yeah.
the more the algorithm like
I know
says
that.
like, oh, you
the
like it.
faster you swipe, the less it's gonna show you stuff.
I
like
know that, but
Yeah.
how much do you think that those people from Congress, those old politicians, understand algorithms?
Oh, they
Just out
don't
of
understand
curiosity.
shit about that.
Oh yeah, like it
just don't get
watches your eye and the dilation of your eye to see if you like something.
Sure.
Is this why I keep getting like gay dad videos on YouTube?
Well, that's because you
exactly-
keep watching the same
Yeah.
videos over and over.
Oh shit. Okay.
YouTube's algorithm is very mature at this point. It's surprisingly clever.
Well, YouTube's been out for over like fucking
Yeah.
25 years, 25 years.
Back
More
to
like
the game.
15.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry.
So, Manolo, bleeding from basically fucking everywhere. The lacerator having gone back. Everybody else being like, "Are was that on purpose?"
It was. I wasn't expecting this, but it was.
The only person who seems unfazed was Ramona in the corner with Gom. And it's sort of a weird case because normally it's Ramona, being a little more emotional and coming in to check. But in this case, you see Ramona just checking her nails with one hand stretched out. And instead it's Gom who looks like he's trying to leave to get closer.
I'll just try and find a place like to lay down and try to take care of my wound.
The wound of wounds.
You start to bandage up and go through the routine steps of cleaning and going and making sure that nothing is going to get infected.
Yeah, disinfecting all of that shit.
And of course, I'm guessing I'm gonna need some stitches.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yay, scars!
You're by the end of this campaign, your character's gonna be scarred for life,
I think we're all
over the
in
place.
one way or another.
Cool. What is next?
Oh, I
It
know
is
that as
late at
soon.
night.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
sleep is what's next.
Yeah. I do want to read a bit before I go to bed.
Okay.
Oh yeah, did you found the last
Yes.
artifact?
Yours, I believe, is the only one that's ready, depending on what books you guys are reading that's left. Jason, the book that was covering the artifact of wounds, like a session or two ago, that I had completely forgotten about, is covering what appears to be a fortune teller who was part of a one of those historical reenactment villages, and this area that was going through like it was a couple of accounts as well as like details about exactly this whole historical reenactment village, and that one of like there was a soothsayer, like one of the not a soothsayer, what do they call them, fortune tellers, who seemed to be pretty accurate at giving fortunes, and always gave was definitely a hit with basically everybody who showed up. It was a huge pack, despite the fact that like fortune teller really wasn't part of the historical reenactment of the actual village itself. There was no actual history for that village of a fortune teller, but the majority of the people seem to have allowed it because it did manage to get a decent amount of people to show up. And a lot of people thought it was nothing but fun. But the person who had managed to concoct some of these notes had actually started taking notes on the actual person, on the areas and events that happened around, and started realizing that there was something that wasn't quite kosher. And so they decided to go look for themselves. And on the night that they went, they met the fortune teller for a bit. And then they went on to describe that on the sudden disappearance of the fortune teller. But of note was the ball that the fortune teller used. Didn't appear to be of regular make. You know this particular village is somewhere in Maine.
In Maine?
I'm not going to give you guys an exact town, but it's a small historical reenactment village, and you're fairly certain you should be able to find the location. Should you try to go after hunting down where this crystal ball is?
Could be something useful. I'll keep note of it. Oh shit! Right, he's dead.
Too soon.
I'll let the others know about possible artifact of wounds. That would be fortune tellers, crystal ball, somewhere in Maine.
My first reaction is, dude, why are you not sleeping?
Like in the meme of D&D where it's like, oh yeah, I got exhausted, burned, like electrocuted, poisoned, but I just take a nap and everything's gonna be good. The same thing. I'll take a nap and everything's gonna be good.
You're gonna feel terrible tomorrow.
This isn't D&D, man. This is real life.
I used to play that in Bolivia. I'm kidding.
I love when they say that in movies. Well, yeah, but dude, it's not a movie. This is real life. Like, sure, dude. All right.
This isn't some game, you know.
Yeah, I'll go to sleep, Dr. Eric.
I have a question for the DM.
Sure.
I don't remember exactly, but does the Stinky Pete, does he also takes like manuscripts that we write and stuff like that, or does he only want secrets?
You can always try to talk to him about it and see what happens.
Okay. I don't remember if we had that talk with him. That's why I was asking.
I don't think you guys asked him specifically.
Okay. I'm still gonna keep doing dissertations on my part.
Okay.
What was it that I wanted to ask? Oh yeah, I have the fourth book of the Deep. I pretty much finished reading it. Right? It's the Rite of the Deep, the one with the net. I read that thing in its entirety.
I believe so.
Okay, then if I have time before going to bed, I'd like to start one of my Book of the Silent Father.
Ooh, excellent. Yes.
Because I have two of those.
Cool. So you managed to start the Book of the Silent Father. And this one appears to be related to a spell. As far as you can, as this is what you glean from the clues that you're going through this particular thing. That's for the moment of what you're going to get.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Eric?
I would proceed to my next book relating to the aspect of change.
Okay.
Since I
If I remember
started
correctly, you had already done one of them, right?
Yeah, it talks about a creature, a Grim.
Yep.
Yeah, that's in my notes.
Okay.
So
Cool.
basically, it's an introduction to a creature more than anything.
This one also seems to relate to a spell as you're starting to get through it. No details just yet.
No details.
Are you guys?
Okay.
Yeah, no details just yet. That doesn't mean this session. Just so both of you know, yes, I do have both spells ready. So don't worry when I say like no details just yet. It just means that you guys have started researching it, and once it's complete, you'll have more details.
When you
It's that
say
Shima's had already started his a while back.
okay, when you say spell, is it more like closer to the Litany of Terran rather than a ritual? Is that what that means?
As a spell,
It's more like a thing we can use in battle rather than something that takes time to do.
potentially.
Okay, potentially. It depends on
Everything takes time to do.
Okay.
The thing that'll take the least amount of time to do is something like the Litany of Tearing, where it gets consumed in order to have an effect.
But I meant more like what's the difference between a spell and a ritual?
A ritual is what you'll do in order either to summon or to have a spell come into effect.
Okay.
A summon is to go through the ritual in order to bring upon a being, and a spell would be to do the same thing, but instead of in calling a being into the world, you're trying to shape the world with the help of the aspect.
Right. But there's still a ritual needed to do
There's
that
still a
spell.
ritual that is needed
Okay.
in order to do that. Yeah.
Okay. That's my question. Thank you.
Like, for example, if you say had like some ritual that involves the ritual sacrifice of a person in order to stop the heart of somebody else, that would be the equivalent of a spell.
If there's no limit on the range, that's worth it.
If you can do that to someone across the world, that's a pretty powerful spell.
Yup.
Indeed. Cool. So, are you guys doing anything else as you sleep? Are you guys dreaming, or not yet?
Let me see if I can read it.
Or are you just going to the next day?
I don't see a point to dream? Question mark?
I'm out of coral, so I might just dream real quick to go find some.
Okay.
Corals of the deep.
Okay, so you'll spend your dream time gathering some corals.
Yes, I would like to do that. Oh, wait.
I need to look at something.
Actually,
You could have.
Can I gather
always,
two
of
things, or
course.
do I not have enough time during the
You could always ask Grash to help out.
Right. So I could gather the one thing, he can gather the other. I'm gonna ask Grash if he can gather me some corals of the deep during sleep time,
Okay.
and I would like to go see if I can't get more materials of the Silent Father
Okay.
because I haven't been there in the dream world yet. So that could be interesting.
Give me a moment. Just going to double check. Oh, that's a shame. I unfortunately don't have anything of the Silent Father for the forest.
That's
But
okay,
for
I'll
the
use
sake
my
of simplicity,
imagination. Mhm.
you come across, as you go and you start walking towards this area, you end up coming to an area that seems a lot more sort of zen.
Okay.
Everything gets more and more muted the further you go in, both in sound and color. And then you start to hear a different kind of noise. Almost noise without it being noise. So, like, the crunching of the weird, strange grass as you're walking down the path seems to change itself into, instead of a crunch, more of a crisp or something of the sort. Not quite entirely different, but something adjacent. And you find this forest seems to be more and more devoid of color, not because color doesn't actually exist. You yourself are still just as colorful, but everything around seems to lose it more and more. And down the path, the area starts to gradually change into, in some cases, sort of waving hills of sand. And all of the sand is patterned, kind of like a Zen garden, as if someone took a giant rake and dragged it across meticulously through.
That's cool.
And as you're stepping through the sand with these chalky kind of trees that seem to have leaves almost of marble, of like a stony marble, both of black and white, you start to find little outcrops. These outcrops of crystals. This chalky kind of crystal that you recognize from the first time you had your touch with the occult in Meredith's mansion. You managed to find some just fine.
Fantastic. I would like to grab as much as I can.
Okay,
Do I
go
roll
ahead
something?
and add. Yes, actually, that's a smart way to do it. My goodness, I almost gave you 10 right out the gate. I'm joking.
Ah, shit. What do you want me to roll?
Give me a d20.
13?
Cool.
Unlucky number.
You're going to pick up 5.
5. Fantastic. Thank you. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, bud. And I will spend the rest of the night sleeping. Like
And the rest of you?
I can't think of anything that I would like to go get in the dream world, honestly.
That's fine.
Sometimes.
I don't remember if we ever tried that, but as I'm dreaming, I would like to focus on the litany of tearing or more on how to make it.
Okay. As you start focusing on this idea, you end up coming to a different portion of the forest. Let me just double check. Ooh. All right. I did actually plan for this one. Just not in Roll20. So you start walking down walking down the path, exploring the forest as you started to become more and more used to navigating it. And in thinking about the litany of tearing and trying to figure out how it works or how you might go about making it, you find the creative juices in your mind just kind of starting to flow. And as you walk, a lot of the ground starts to flow too, just not in the way you expect. Something a little more, almost as if the stone could flow, as if the stone was liquid. And
Okay.
you start going down this path, and you find that the trees start looking as if portions of them have been used, broken in places, and in other cases, remade. And it creates this sort of strange kind of chaotic mess as you're walking down.
It's inviting. I'm gonna keep going.
Cool. As you continue walking down this path, and you're still focusing on the idea of being able to make things, you end up coming across the path starts to head towards this sort of apex peak, going up, winding around hills, going further and further, closer and closer to an actual peak of the mountain. And when you find yourself at the top of the mountain, it's almost as if you're deep in a gully instead. This sort of strange, contradictory environment seems to be unable to tell whether or not it wants to be at one extreme or the other. And you're greeted with a very strange sight in the center of the path. And along the path that you're walking, it becomes more and more almost seemingly man-made. And in its center, you see something made of this glowing red-hot iron. And it looks to be a symbol.
By memory, the litany of tearing, did it felt like paper or did it felt like dry skin?
It felt like dry skin.
Okay. I'm just gonna go closer, look at, try to inspect, like, what does
Inspect
the
what this
inscription look
strange
like?
thing is.
Yeah.
It seems to be a sigil done in wrought iron, glowing with heat. When you get close to it, you feel the heat kind of radiating from it. And it seems to have everything it would need in order to stand on on a flat surface. And the way that it's being stood right now is on these strange kind of jutting columns of iron and stone. Just kind of hard to tell where the iron starts and where the stone starts. this kind of strange mixture of both. And it's just kind of being suspended there. And you notice that it would be pretty easy to take this and break it off of its sort of struts.
I'll Do I have my machete with me?
You do.
I'll take my machete and I'm gonna try and like pry it off without touching it.
Okay. As you go and you press in, you notice the area closest to where the struts contacted seemed to be chalky and brittle. And it starts to sort of flake off. Do you continue?
That's the stone that's taking off, or
Yeah, like the actual stone metal struts that are going up, they seem to be really solid at the top, and right at the tip where it's supporting the where this sigil stand thing is resting, the interface between the two is seems to be rather weak.
yeah, I'll rip it off.
Okay. You do so, and the sigil falls to the ground with a thud, and the glow ceases.
Okay. If I touch it, I'm gonna touch it to see if it's hot or still warm.
There's a slight warmth to it, but it's not hot to the touch.
Okay. I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna wake up.
Okay. You wake up, and for a moment, you wake up with nothing in your hands. And you're like, well, fuck, where is it? And you start to turn, and as you turn onto this wrought iron metal that just jags into your side. And you're like, oh. And you pick it up. It seems to have come with you.
Okay. Is it small, medium, or big?
Each time you look at it, it seems to change in size.
What?
But it
Okay.
seems to be anywhere between the size of a small glass to the size of a computer monitor.
Okay. I'll I'm scared of saying I'm gonna put it in my back pocket and then it fucking grows like a monitor and fucking rips my pants. I'm going to
Stick it up your ass.
no,
I mean,
what I'll
knowing you,
do,
you'd like a hole in your pants.
I'll hold it and I'll you know what, no, I'm gonna hide it in my room. And that's
Okay.
it for the moment.
All right. That's fine. So the next morning comes. Each of you in your areas, hopefully.
I don't even remember which one is mine at this point.
I don't know, help Alan out a bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next morning comes. No news. Diaz wakes up. And as you guys walk out, Diaz says, I've been thinking.
Yep.
And who all is around as he's saying that?
I'm already up. I would be
Everyone.
kind of curious.
Is Manuela there as well?
Yeah, I'll get up.
And he's there, and Grash and Ramona appear to both be still either not really listening or not paying attention or potentially still sleeping. It's always hard to tell with Grash. And he's there and he says, Diaz says, I've been thinking quite a bit. I wrote that stuff. What if it's my fault? What if
It's
I'm
not.
the reason he's dead?
It's not your fault. We wanted to try and uh, educate people on what was possible with this new threat of the betrayer, but Vital was ambitious and decided to try and venture on its own even after we warned him not even to use this because of the danger of the real. Don't put
Well,
this on yourself.
we made it very clear to him.
We made it very clear to him that this was something new, unexplored, and
And
from our
dangerous.
experience, entities of this aspect were dangerous and problematic. And yet he decided to alter the procedure you wrote to make it a summoning. The onus is
Huh.
mostly on him.
It was very foolish.
But like, I'm ground zero though, aren't I? I'm the one who brought them here, didn't I?
Well, it was or you or me who made
Yeah,
the
well-
first mistake.
Yeah.
And if I remember, it was my circle that was fucked up that might have actually caused that.
I've been working on this for quite a while, even before I met you guys.
Did this ever happen with anything that you created or wrote or drew? Like, have you seen anything
I
related to
mean,
this aspect before working with us?
Never saw anything. I only managed to learn how to do the repelling. And it's only with you guys that I've managed to perfect it and really understand it. So there's a little bit that was before you guys, I guess. And before then, I never came across any of the shit that showed up trying to get us.
I understand why you feel guilty, but you can't put that on yourself. It's okay.
I generally don't believe this is on you. You would have encountered entities of this aspect before us if you were really responsible for this. While it is true that Manuelo's screw ups led to us discovering them, it's clearly not you that did this.
You need to understand the gun is not the killer, is the gunner. The person wielding the gun.
That's an apt enough metaphor.
From
But we
behind you
still
here,
need more strict gun laws.
from behind you hear Ramona passing by, and she says, "Yep, I agree with Manuelo. It's guns that kill. But I mean, I guess you are somewhat responsible, but that's not too bad. Let the live live, and let the dead be dead." And she just kind of continues walking. Anyway, I'm out for breakfast. And she heads off.
As she's heading off, I'm telling her, don't forget the bagel for Gom.
Yeah.
That's what you got last time, right?
I believe so, yes.
A bag.
A bagel.
A
Bagel.
bagel.
A bag.
A bagel.
Bagel.
With her comments going past of, let the alive live and let the dead die kind of thing. Diaz kind of frowns a bit, looking after her. Says she's rather strange.
She's
She-
dead.
She is one of the weirdest I've ever found. Like one of the weirdest person I've ever found.
Anyway, I just wasn't sure if I should be continuing is all. I figured it might be a service to, well, humanity and making sure there's not too much more pain if I stopped.
No, if anything, because this aspects existence seems to have come from Manuela's mistake with your circles. There is a chance that there is something related to your circles in there that is connected to them. Maybe there's a way for you to create a repelling circle for the real.
Well, now that I think of it, since you were able to make the right of the impossible angle, would you be able to make it so that to upgrade your our glyph of wards for the real?
I can try.
So that it repels literally everything.
No, it only repels the real. That's it.
Oh, the real.
I
'Cause
can
right
try,
now,
but
it's pretty
honestly,
much
it's not
just the only thing we need to protect ourselves from
a
until
lot of
we know.
what works with the real and what has it work is, well, its own thing. It's kind of like hard to repel water by making something out of water. I don't know if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
A bit.
But if you put salt in the water, you can differentiate the different waters. Fresh from salty water.
I mean, I guess I'll try my best. And he heads back.
Don't forget to put everything in the computer.
He nods.
I'm gonna
Gresh
go.
seems still sound asleep.
Oh, still sound asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell the Alan and Eric, guys, come in. I want to show you something.
Sure.
So welcome to my sex. No, I'm kidding. So I'm gonna take out the sigil and show them.
Okay.
I found this while dreaming. I was thinking of how about the litany of tearing and on how to make it.
Oh.
It was glowing red hot when I found it. I just decided to dislodge it and bring it with me. I'm not sure, but I believe we need to brand skin and rip it off with it. Maybe let it dry, and then we got a litany of tearing. Not sure if that's what it is.
Like human skin? Oh.
Who's the last one who used the litany of tearing?
I think it was me, was it?
We gave it to. We sold it to.
You guys gave it to
Yeah, right. You used it in
Oh.
the
person
Yeah, you
one
used
shot.
it in
used
the
it
one shot,
was yeah.
I got confused.
Uh,
By thinking about my other life as a magician, do I remember?
I'm like, because last time I was holding it, it felt more like dry skin than paper. Don't ask me how I know that.
You do technically, honestly, you do technically know. That
Oh
it
yeah,
does,
right.
it
Because of
does
the
use-
laptop.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had the information from the laptop on
you
the
do have the
litany of tearing.
information, and you're pretty sure you don't need the sigil in order to make it.
I don't need the sigil.
You think it'll help?
This might
But-
be useful as like something to brand for the aspect of the wound. Can you repeat me, GM, what the thing is exactly that he got?
It appears to be a very strange. It honestly, it kind of looks like a desk weight. It
A
is a very
desk
strange
weight?
looking, yeah, like a desk weight. You know, like an ornate. It looks like an ornate piece of art, to be honest.
And it's made
and
of metal, right? Wrought iron.
It appears to be made of metal, mostly wrought iron. It appears to stand upright, and the portion that is wrought iron is the actual sigil itself.
Okay. Obviously, because it's related to wound, is there any obvious way that we can like cut something with it?
No, actually.
Okay. The
And-
next thing that I'm thinking is
Uh,
if we heat it up Do you think that it could like burn or mark something?
Well, that's what I'm
Maybe.
thinking. Like it would be like somebody brand himself, and then probably like with the ritual of the open palm, open hand. I mean, tears away his own flesh. That would be probably
Ugh.
how to do it. I'm not sure, but
Manuelo, can I question your curiosity with this particular aspect? To me, it seems like torture.
it could be, yeah.
Also, listen, I'm not against the occasional sacrifice for certain reasons, but yeah, that does seem excessive. Just ripping the flesh off someone.
It definitely does.
Like every time we need to use a litany of tearing.
Just want to remind you of what was it? The Rite of the Curtain call.
That is of the Allmother.
You flay a
Rite of the
portion of your
Curtain's call.
skin and drape it across your arm.
Across your arm. Yep.
Ugh.
Otherwise,
Also-
there's the Rite of the Feast Forbidden, which is dissect the corpse and butcher and a cut of meat containing the hard lungs and esophagus.
I need to open a tab.
Oh,
Right
really?
on Google, because I am.
Can I glimpse a true sight of the sigil?
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah, I'll true sight it
Okay.
because
I'll
you
just
know
glimpse it.
I don't get hurt.
Actually, yeah. No, I'll just glimpse it.
You're gonna glimpse it?
Yeah, I'm gonna glimpse it. See what it gives off.
Kiki just remembered our roles till now.
What the fuck is that?
What
Oh,
the hell?
something remade.
Okay. That is not the aspect I expected to see here. Where's my aspect document?
Well, it is something remade.
Bro-
It's
broken
getting
and
used for
amended?
something else.
That seems to make sense, yeah. Broken and amended.
Broken and amended, changed. Aspect of the unceasing, probably not.
I mean, mended and remade are pretty much the same thing. I'm pretty sure that's. Oh wait, no. Remade would be more of change.
The aspect of changing is something separate, at least in my notes.
GM, do I recognize the aspect that I see?
Um,
Do I recognize what aspect?
you don't. I don't think you guys have actually come across this aspect before.
Ooh.
At least not in.
So not in a vision, which is why I clicked it. Because I'm pretty sure you guys haven't.
Ooh, interesting.
However, it is of an aspect you guys are aware of.
Yeah, broken and amended is my bet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like it's one on the list that we already know?
That or the change.
Yep. Yep. There are no other aspects at the moment, unless I decide to get spicy.
Oh, really?
But all of the aspects, yeah. Unless I get to unless I want to get really spicy and create another one, which at the moment I don't. All of the aspects you guys are aware of, including the secret ones, technically.
So it's either broken and mended or
Change.
yeah, or change.
My money's on broken and mended.
I just noticed there's a fucking cat here.
Yeah, there's a
My
cat
goodness,
there.
you're right. There is a cat there.
Wow, yeah, there is.
Free skin.
Fucking hell, dude.
Could be a
Yeah,
test
all
subject.
it takes is cleaning cat piss off of legs once, and he's ready to skin the cat.
Oh, that's nothing compared to what she's done before.
Oh,
They don't bury their stuff, and if their little box is a little bit dirty, they're gonna piss on anything they find.
hey, does Gum have any skin?
Dom does technically have skin, yes.
Does he need it?
I won't do
Maybe.
anything without Ramona's say so on it.
So-
I actually, I'm gonna ask her if she knows anything about the linear tearing.
Maybe you can trade some skin for like a bronze favor or something. Maybe there's a shopkeeper somewhere who has it. Like a stack of
Excellent
skin.
question.
Yeah, of course, but wouldn't it be best to be able to make your own?
Just
Sure.
saying, might be simpler that way.
Like you attract a fucking hobo, you attract him with some booze and everything. You
How
roofie
big
him,
does
and
the
then
skin need to be to move the litany of tearing?
At least legal paper size.
So, like, how
So-
much could you get from a person? Like, let's say, maybe 2 per leg, maybe
Legal.
two
2 on
per
the back,
leg, 2 in the
2 in the
back, 2 in the
front.
front. Well, depending if he's got a big gut, probably 3.
I mean, if you're talking about like a human body, you can
Or
probably
is it
get
like a D10?
you'll probably get 3 per leg total, like entire leg. Maybe another 2 from the arms each. You can get a decent amount.
How
Maybe 4
expensive
from
in
the
terms, other than
4 or 5 from the
skin,
torso.
how expensive is the litany of tearing to create? It's in the dock, right?
Far as you did I put
As
it in the
far
doc?
as far as decided.
I don't think I put it in the doc. You guys are aware of it, but it's not a spell technically.
It's more of an artifact, a consumable artifact.
That's correct.
Oh, so we
And I
don't know
did
how to
not
make
put
it
a. One person technically knows how to make it.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what I mentioned, but it does involve using. It does involve using skin. I forget whether or not it has to necessarily be human. I believe it does.
Because I remember you
and
talked
using
to me about
you
it.
have to use a ritual in order to do so.
Yeah.
I see the anonymous iguana.
Because I remember you told me about it before I knew about the Rite of the Open Palm.
Yeah, it was one of the very first forays into. It's when you guys went and was fighting the Maiden in the Mirror.
Mhm.
Was all the way back then.
I'll have to read back on the laptop of the Litany of Tearing to see if it's related to what I already know now.
Give me a moment. You know that you're going to need, in order to create a litany of tearing, you do know that you are going to need human skin. You know that you're going to need to use a ritual,
Won't work on the cats, okay.
and you're also going to need 2 levels of wounds and 1 of the broken and amended.
Ah. Oh.
It's a broken amendment. Okay. That explains it.
But my question is the sigils going to be used, or is it considered as an artifact? Like, is it an ingredient or an artifact?
Excellent question.
I would guess it's like you can reuse it every time. That'd be my guess. Because like you brand the skin every time with it, and that makes the broken amended. And then you add your 2 other ingredients. And you said there's a ritual involved to create it?
Yep. If you guys remember, there's rituals for summoning, there's rituals for spells, and there's
Right.
rituals for creation.
Yeah.
In which Kiki you already participated in.
Yeah, well, the Rite of the Open Palm is like everything. Summoning,
Yep.
spell, creation, portal.
What a wonderful Swiss Army knife.
Isn't it? But it
That's
asks
it?
for a lot.
I lost it.
And a good thing, we already have the ambience.
What? I'm not in the right spells.
The ambience of the wound, is it still ongoing or no?
It's still there.
Right.
Do we think that the ambience will fade at some point, or is that something that's probably going to stay there?
You believe it'll fade at some point, yes. Ambiences tend to come and go.
And it's a 1 use usually for a ritual, right?
Yes, generally, the
consumes
majority of the
it.
time, if something uses an ambience, it will consume it.
Okay.
Similarly with ingredients, not all the time, but most of the time when it comes to ingredients, the ingredients are consumed. There are a couple of cases where they are not.
I'm drawing a weird blank. The Gift of the Depths that I did, it gave me the dagger, right?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having
The
memory
dagger.
issues. I have a dagger of the deep.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I got last session from the Gift of the Depths ritual that I did.
mm-hmm.
So now I have a weapon that's imbued with the deep that I can use for rituals in battle. I'm guessing, I don't know yet because we never tried, but I'm guessing it's going to do more damage to like Fake Out, among other things, because it's imbued with an aspect. Oh, we got an anonymous giraffe and an anonymous iguana.
No kidding.
That's
Who's the
us.
iguana? Who's the
You don't
giraffe?
say.
But where's the pickle? That's the surprise. Okay.
So what do we do, guys?
Eat a pickle. It'll answer all your
So well,
questions.
at least this way we know we might be able to do some Litany of Tearing
Remind
for
me, you
that
said
we'll
which ritual was it created? we
right of
could
the
use?
open palm.
The open palm. Okay, thanks.
So do we just go ahead and attempt to? Oh, we need human skin.
Yes.
I say we go
Um,
see Stinky Pete, see if he sells human skin first.
Well,
If
that's the
it's
thing.
cheap,
Does
it
it
could be
has to
nice.
be live human skin or dead human skin?
I mean,
While we wait, can I interest you guys in a classic game of Cox?
Of what?
What?
A classic game of
Picasso?
Cox.
what the?
Cox. The fuck are you talking about?
What is this? Oh, you asked the AI to make a game. I was trying to read. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, this is AI
See,
generated.
Damn.
that's nice. The one on the right
I have a
definitely looks
folder
like
of memes.
it definitely looks like it's the game that we played, the Cthulhu game. I forget the name.
Arkham.
Arkham
Yeah,
Horror.
Arkham. Yeah, Arkham Horror.
Yep, Arkham Horror.
It's cool.
I have a small folder of memes that I had accrued while generating all the rest.
Small folder of memes.
The cops.
Yeah.
You guys got already like 30 gigs of it.
I mean, I like to whenever we do something in the game, I like to try to create it with the AI generation. I created a lot of imps earlier, a lot of ghouls. They're pretty cool. There's one that looks like Mittens. You want to see it?
Yes.
Mittens as a ghoul.
Oh God.
It was by accident.
My goodness, it's terrifying.
What the fuck?
I swear this thing creates some fun stuff sometimes. I never
Yeah,
know
it
what it's
does.
gonna pull out of its ass.
So, what is the plan?
Sneaky Pete.
Stinky Pete
Yeah.
sounds like a good plan.
But before going, let's get some alcohol first at the SAQ.
Yes.
I already have 2 bottles of
SAQ,
alcohol,
you're
but we
funny.
can get more if you want.
You have what?
I have 2 bottles of alcohol on me. I have a bottle of rum and a bottle of vodka already. And is there more in the base? I doubt. Let me check. There's another bottle of vodka and a bottle of old wine, and 5 cans of beers also that we already own. and a can of nameless beer. So that's 6 cans of beer.
Okay,
Damn.
so I think we're good.
3
with the
bottles of
alcohol.
hard alcohol and 1 bottle.
Yeah, let's bring the 3 bottles of alcohol because whether or not we're just gonna tell him that one of his old partners just died.
Yeah, he's gonna want to
Getting
drink
ripped
no
in
matter
half.
what.
Cool. I'll take the bottle of vodka out of the. I'll bring it with me. Cool beans. Yeah.
So you guys head out, go to the SAQ.
There's no
Curate.
SAQ in Ontario.
Sorry, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. It's got a
SAO.
particular name.
No, the Ontario's smarter than us. They just don't have one store funded by the government that monopolizes all of the alcohol. It's a free market over there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they're just smarter.
So you have
And,
to do like 10 stores to find the thing you're looking for instead of just one.
Typically, normally you would just do like your researches before you go to a store, but
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel it's simpler that way. I don't mind it.
prices are better over there just because it's not a
not
public.
as heavily taxed.
Now that I agree with you is better.
Yeah, they have significantly better prices over there because competition, no monopoly, and it's not overly taxed by a government-regulated body.
It's not taxed 3 times.
Exactly.
Yo, it just reminded me I don't have alcohol at home. I should get some.
So, as you guys head out, procure your
Alcohol.
currency of choice.
Yeah, do we need more?
I don't think
Or
we
are we
need
good
You
with
guys
what we
managed
have?
to have picked up a decent amount.
Oh,
You
sorry.
guys are confident in the amount that you have, and picked up like 1 or 2 bottles, just for the sake. And you head over down to Stinky Pete's. Going down the familiar way, mind you, it's not super familiar since this will be the second time you guys go down the alleyway. At each time, once again, the first beggar asking for change. Does anyone give?
Do we skim this one? Or no, it's okay. I don't have.
Going once,
Oh,
going twice.
I'm showing my gun. Like, get away.
Okay. We
I'm gonna
please.
give $1. Oh wait, we're in Canada. I'm gonna give him $2.
Give him $2.
Toonie?
He's
The
giving you
toonie.
toonie.
Hey,
It's not even my
Thanks.
money. It's one of yours.
Yeah, it's
It's
changed
Eric.
from when
Eric's.
we lent
Eric's
you
been
money.
your bank. I
Yeah.
haven't given you anything.
I have around $20 on me. I'm fucking rich.
Eric is your your sugar daddy.
Don't call it that. Fuck.
he graciously accepts it and he says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you." And he passes along. Another beggar shows up as you guys are walking. Oh, well, hello. Hey, is it your birthday? Yeah. Hey, do you think I could get a little tiny bit of help? Because anything can help.
What
Even a
you
little
need?
bit.
What do you need?
Money, man. Money.
Oh,
Food
man.
could help too. So I can
Yeah,
eat.
I don't have food
He seems
on
to
me.
be having trouble. Just in general.
Yeah,
Do you give
I
anything?
will also give him $2.
Oh, bless your soul. Bless your soul. And then, as you're almost getting close to Stinky Pete's, this stark raving mad woman throws herself on
I
her
stab
knees in
her.
front of you.
I'm sorry.
And she said, please, please, you're so kind, please. Please?
What's going on?
Help. Anything could help. And she's just pleading at you generally. It's hard to make out because she's just kind of a little bit excited. She seems to have seen what you've given Toonies out.
I'll look at the other two to see if they do anything. If they don't, I'm gonna give her $2.
Oh,
Dude,
bless your
I'm-
soul.
I would fucking pop their head if they keep coming at me.
Oh man,
We're in the
I don't
bum
need them for
area. What do you think?
sacrifices.
She gets out of your way.
Give her $2. Yeah.
And thank you, thank you, thank you. And she gets out of the way. And you guys come up to Stinky Pete's door.
Also, you know what I was thinking?
What?
If one of them went missing, it probably would not get noticed very much.
Also, we get my $2 back.
Jesus Christ, Hitler.
Well, what I wanted to do is actually like go to Sticky Pete, like deposit the bad information, and as we're coming out, I'm gonna try to attract one of the homeless to our place.
Look like a sandwich on a fishing pole.
No, just like trying to tell him like, dude, we've got a place better than this, and you can come in and everything. Trying to charm him over.
To skin them alive.
There's many different ways to skin a cat.
All right.
Wow. So, you guys open Stinky Pete's door.
Well, first we knock. We're not fucking savages.
Sorry. First, you
Everybody has
knock.
the right to
We skin
privacy.
people, but we're not savages.
You knock. The little speakeasy slider opens up. Who is it? Oh, it's you guys. Come on in. It shuts. You hear a couple clicks, and the door opens.
Ah,
As you
walking.
walk in, the area musty. A couple candles here and there, and Stinky Pete sits upon his throne of dirty winter jackets, and he's there, and he's like, "Welcome back to my crib."
Thank you. It is absolutely not a pleasure to be here.
So
What he
they're
means
You don't
to
say.
say is we have bad news.
we're the
Oh,
bearers of bad news.
what kind of bad news?
Tony Azuno says hello. Sorry, I don't know.
Do you- Do you say that?
No.
Vidal is dead.
Okay. What?
Vidal is dead. We brought him a little manuscript that one of our partners was able to write up about the new aspect that we've talked to you about, the real, or as I started to prefer to call it, the betrayer.
Huh.
It's a little manuscript that was about being able to create and open portals. And he decided to try and use and recreate or try to make up his own summoning circle with it, or ritual. And he summoned forth the creature that ripped him in half.
Wow.
And we don't know exactly if it's the creature or if it attracted the fake Alan, but the whole place was cleaned off,
Ransacked.
ransacked of all the.
There wasn't much to begin with, because we did empty him not long ago. But whatever else he managed to collect afterwards, including what we sold to him, wasn't there
And
anymore.
Or the favors he had. It's all
Yeah,
around.
he also did not have any favors.
Wow, wow, wow.
You wouldn't happen
Really,
to
you
have heard
guys think
about
I didn't
that?
know this already?
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Talking about
Well,
the man of information. And you think I don't know that one of my best buddies / rivals kicked the bucket?
we were there probably an hour and a half after it happened.
Wow.
We
Now
didn't come to
that
see you right away.
Is info. And as he says that, you can kind of smell this waft of alcohol on his breath, even though like you guys are standing quite a couple of feet away from him. Because I've already given him quite the salute, and he gestures to a lot of bottles that are just on the floor. Some of them with some of them beer bottles, one or two of them being full vodka bottles that are just empty now.
We wanted to know if you, because whether or not the creature or abomination he called forth, he summoned, might still be in our world.
Hmm.
Would you have heard of anything about that?
Well, I did hear about a creature, one that was tall, very strangely tall, like I don't know, some 7 foot dude. But everything about him is not quite right. At least that's what I hear. Makes sense. You think this thing tore Vital in half?
We know he did.
We know Vital got torn in half from.
Whatever he summoned, yeah.
One of the little spirits in the place kind of informed us by giving us the play of how everything went.
He looks at you. Did he do something like a? He's trying to make this crude imitation.
I look at him like with my face like, what? I'm like,
What the?
yes.
Yes.
You met little Johnny.
What?
The thing that looks like a little ghoul in its corner.
Yeah, it looks like he's losing a lot of his skin. Looks like he eats dead people for dinner, lunch, and breakfast.
No.
That's the
yes.
one.
Something.
So how do you communicate with him?
Well, I go up to him and I say hello.
Because
And I say, I'd like to know about this. And he goes, what? And I know.
okay.
Meth's a hell of a drug.
Yes.
We had a little another thing. We probably wanted to like confirm with you. Do you
No?
have stuff to sell?
Yeah, I always have stuff to sell.
Like what?
What are you looking for?
Well, what do you got under your shirt?
Information as he opens his shirt and reveals his little tiny nipples.
Oh.
That's not what I expected, but GG, well played.
What were you hoping for? Something more?
Weapon?
A weapon?
Something to use against creatures?
You need a piece? I can get you a piece.
A piece.
A piece. Well, Mr. Reporter over there ain't streetwise. A piece. An iron.
I pick up my gun and I'm like, you already got one.
He ain't got one like this, and you see him pull out this giant fucking magnum. It's ornate.
Fucking hand cannon?
Okay, that's very
Basically.
extra.
And he's like pulling
He's
it
got
out,
the
and it's
Colt.
just like right in the center.
Get him, Sam! Get him, Sammy. Do you got... Okay, this is gonna sound very awkward, but do you sell skin?
No, kind of fresh out of skin dust.
No, not dust, like sheets of skin.
Sheets of skin. The fuck, man.
It's for a thing.
You're gonna wanna look elsewhere for that.
Oh,
I'm sure it's for a thing. What kind of
I
thing
mean-
was it? Huh? Which one? Is it the book? Is it the
What?
scroll?
What? What are
Scroll.
you talking about?
Is it the map?
Is the scroll.
Nah, it's not the map. The scroll. Ooh. Well, then you don't need me for a piece if you got one of those.
I mean, that is like a one-time use, so we need a lot of skin to do it, to stock up on it.
Buddy, and he flashes his hand cannon again. He's like, if one shot of this ain't getting rid of whatever's in front, I'ma bite that bullet anyway.
That's.
I want
fair.
a true sight. The gun. Well, him and the gun.
Okay.
Well, everything actually.
Okay. Go for it. So as you true sight, you don't have to roll.
Puta madre.
You don't
Okay.
have to roll because you're trained in it now. So you true sight and make an intellect defense.
Like defense.
Ooh.
No better.
You manage to catch yourself, and in doing the true sight, you notice intricate markings all over his body. They seem to be like almost a semi-transparent, nigh invisible kind of tattoo that just goes into these ornate, almost Aztec markings all across his torso. And you see him notice you flinch just the slightest bit, and he looks at you. He's like, "What do you think you're doing? Looking at the goods?"
Yeah, this is impressive.
It is, isn't it? You want some of this?
Is that Aztec?
This is Mayan.
Mayan.
Yeah.
From my
wanna-
background, would I've known a bit about that, or that it looks familiar?
You get the impression that he's kind of bullshitting to a certain extent,
Okay.
given your background.
So what is he saying?
You get the impression that he was bullshitting, that it's not actually Mayan, it's not Aztec, and while it does have semblance to like symbols and scripture in the area of where you're from, it's none of those things.
Mm-hmm. It kind of looks like it, but that's not Mayan or Aztec or whatever.
He's there. All right, you caught me. You really wanna know where it's from?
Possible, it's fun.
Yeah.
Can I
It's
ask
all
what
right.
you're
All right.
talking
Listen,
about?
he's talking about the tats.
The what?
That's what he's talking about. Yeah, have a look. Go for it. Do it. I dare you. You're gonna regret it though. Too beautiful.
I just tilt my
As
head
he
to
starts-
try to see his like. Is there any part of his body that's not covered right now?
Yep. You can see his torso now that he has opened his shirt.
Okay.
So he's just got like his pasty white, like skinny, slight beer belly. And as you're looking at him, he's got in one hand, he's got another bottle and he's just downing some more.
Okay. And do I see any actual tats there, or not at
Nope.
all?
You don't see any physical markings.
I just shake my head and keep quiet.
So he continues for a bit, and he says, "All right. Listen, there's a civilization. It's not quite Mayan. It's not quite Aztec. It's in that kind of area. It's really interesting though, and they've managed to figure out like ways to protect themselves from the occult, and they're called the Ninja. Ninja fucking business." He sits down.
That's pretty funny.
Isn't
So
I have a question for you. Now that your partner slash rival is dead, unfortunately, we have no one to deal with knowledge that we find. I was
Ooh.
wondering, do you take manuscripts that we would write with knowledge that we amass?
Manuscripts, I don't have any use for now.
Do you know anyone who would?
Demons? I can put some feelers out.
I would appreciate it. I kind of like
You might
gathering
want to
information.
start trying to, I don't know, maybe you might be able to look in other cities.
Oh,
You're going to want to look where the occult is, really.
yeah.
Not many are like vital, and then they end up being at the surface level. Catch my drift.
Right.
Hmm.
I'll look deeper. Deeper.
Yeah. Look deeper. Look deeper.
And just out of your curiosity, how much do you pay for names again?
Sorry. How much do I pay for
Names.
names? Why? I pay favors, my guy.
Right.
It's gonna depend on what it is. If it's a name I already know.
Right. Well, I got a name, but I promised I wouldn't say it because it was dangerous. I think Vital. Do I remember?
All
Yeah,
names are dangerous. That's why
Vi-
they're worth the big cash.
Vital told me about that, right? Like he's the
Yes.
one who's like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's the
no.
one who told you not to give him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's just say I own an artifact, and that artifact may or may not contain a creature that has a name. But I'm planning to use the artifact again, so I don't want to, I don't want to like stab him in the back and just, tell their name to everyone. That would be a bad idea.
In an artifact. That would be a bad idea. That's a golden bad idea right here, as he seems to have produced a golden favor from behind him. And he's just kind of flicking it between his
That's a
fingers.
nice golden favor, but it's not worth me dying for. But I
Who
appreciate
said
it.
you would die? How would they know?
How would they know? I don't know, man. There's some supernatural shit. They probably know everything.
Yeah.
I'm not
You
risking
think
that.
they'd really give a fuck about a worm?
They might. I don't know.
An excellent question.
Anyway, I'm not risking it. I just wanted to, just confirm what I already knew.
If ever you change your mind, and the golden favor disappears.
That's fine, man. Don't worry about it.
Now, I do believe I've given a decent amount of information.
I pull out the vodka bottle as he says that.
He grabs the vodka bottle.
Jesus, his arms
And
are
he
long.
looks at well, I mean, I assume you reached out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I was like 12 feet away from him, so I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
No, you guys are
How
not
do you
quite.
do
The guy,
that? Fucking
close to
you're
like
fantastic.
the guy teleports next to you.
And as he pops open the bottle, he looks at you, Manuel, and he says, not everything about the Nenya is wrong. I was telling the truth about ancient civilization sort. Just the name's not quite that. He starts.
Yeah, like the Incas were thinking about the colonizers, about the what was their name again? The colonizers. Oh yeah, they were called the Incapaz.
Conquistadors.
Los Incapaz.
Los Incapaz.
Les Incapables.
Oh, love it.
You're what the French called les incompetents.
Oh,
The meme levels are overflowing.
Yeah.
Stinky Pete waits for a moment. So, does you guys need some of my service? If you're not here to sell the name, maybe you're here to buy
What are you selling?
What you selling?
information.
Ooh.
Once again,
So,
he drapes
would you-
open one of his things, and you see his pasty white belly and his little nipples kind of just hanging there a little bit, just drooping just slightly.
So did you heard any information about our friend Alan here doing stuff in the world other than being in our hideout?
Mm-hmm. I did indeed.
We kind of need him dealt with as soon as possible because
Oh,
here's the thing. He's gathering knowledge. We know that much.
okay.
And last time we met him, he seemed more resilient than the first, which
Is very
leads me to
disturbing.
believe he's gaining power. So we might want to, cut that bud before it flowers, if you know what I mean.
Indeed, indeed. And speaking of flowers, flowers require water. And this one's poor and parched as he reaches out.
Jesus, is his vodka bottle's already empty? Fucking
Yes.
for the full fucking Jesus. All right, I
You're
pull
not
out the
sure
bottle
how
of
this
the.
you're not sure how this man is still standing.
Yeah, no kidding.
This dude has legendary resistance on being poisoned.
Legendary resistance to alcohol poisoning.
He
I'm gonna
pops it
pull out the
open
rum bottle
and
give it to
he
him.
drinks some of it. And he says, I honestly must have been a dwarf in my past life.
Rocket stone.
Yes, apparently you, and by you I mean not you, but you've been a naughty boy. And
You're
you've been
talented.
going all around. And you've been gathering stuff. And not just any stuff. You're right. Yes. You are gathering knowledge. And you're also apparently gathering tools. Last I heard, apparently, you don't need to hide as much, to go and grab into, say, sneak away into a bus or anything like that. You've found a good way to zip zoom around, get from point A to
Oh,
point B.
it's from A to D, skipping B and C. But yes, so he can teleport. That's fun.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
indeed the case. That's the last I heard.
and he
And
whispers
last
on
I
when his
heard,
base of operation might be.
that's been rather hard to pinpoint. Although,
Because of his zipping
apparently
around.
he's making like a drug dealer, though.
He's
Apparently
at,
he's got that hot new stuff that everyone wants.
Oh no.
what's the hot new stuff? Of the real?
Apparently, he's got knowledge that he came across and he's spreading. Now, I've been doing my best to keep it from going, but those who don't know about the networks or, are experimenting are bound to stumble on his deal of crack. And, they're going to tweak things here, they're going to tweak things there, and boom. You catch my drift?
I do. He's
What,
spreading knowledge about the real and it's fucking shit up.
what would it take
Um,
for you to
Ding,
like
ding, ding.
find him for us?
To what?
What would it take for you to find him for us? If you're even capable,
Hmm.
that is.
I might be able to find him. That's an excellent challenge. I think the risk to mine being would probably be of the sum of 2 gold and 1 silver.
Jesus Christ. That's
So
expensive.
I've got a gold.
I also have a gold and I have a silver. But that's expensive.
You're right, but you're asking me to put my skin on the line, because if I'm going to really find where this person is, I got an idea. But if I'm going to find exactly where they are, I'm putting my skin on the line.
Here's what I'm worried about.
This
is-
skin ain't cheap. He does a little
Really?
jig.
But it can make some litany of terror. I'm just saying. What I'm worried about is that even if we find his location for such an expensive price, this location might change from one day to the next if he can teleport everywhere.
Well, he can teleport everywhere, but
He has to be somewhere.
if you go, he has to be somewhere.
To
Indeed,
stash his
exactly.
stuff and
He has to keep his stuff somewhere. And everyone knows you can't just keep everything you need to do all of this beautiful, beautiful stuff in a backpack. I mean, you can do a little bit, but all the good stuff's at home, right?
Are you hinting to the possibility of a bag of holding?
Hinting to the possibility that he's got a lair, that he's got a place that he comes back to, that he knows he'll be safe, somewhere he's been painstakingly, rearranging and experimenting outside of the eyes, trying to make it better and more powerful so that he can go further and further with his rituals.
Also, Shimmer,
That's
we
what
don't
I'm hinting.
we don't need a bag of holding. If you took a look at my inventory, it's
Yeah.
like 3 times what I can carry already. It's fucking stupid. I need to put.
You have too much shit.
I have like 5 sets of clothes just on me. That's already
Wow.
like more than I can carry. Um. Player to DM.
Yep.
How long until we get a backup? As in a fourth. Do we have an estimate?
You want to know when Way's coming over?
Yeah.
I
don't
don't
wanna
have an
face-
estimate at the moment.
Let's just say, like, with the 3 of us fighting this guy, whatever, like, he's got gathered up, I'd feel
Okay.
safer with a fourth.
Just saying, Kiki. If we ever go and fight your other
Yeah.
your
fake
global
out.
ganger,
Yeah.
one thing for sure, I'm gonna call a couple of lacerators
Oh, yeah.
to come with us.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to summon a deep one at least.
So we're not gonna be only 3.
Oh, wait. A deep one and a mime. Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Why bother? They're just going to die immediately.
True. I'm gonna back away, like, with Manuel and Eric, and just, like, talk about, is it worth it?
I think we can bargain.
I'm taking out the gold favor and the bronze favor that I have.
Okay.
Like, look, I don't mind you guys using this. All the information I'm getting, I'm already getting it from the lacerators.
I think we can bargain with him. We could lower the price if we include a name.
Listen. Listen.
And I'm like leaning over to Eric, and I'm like looking at Alan. He's got a point.
What if he knows the name already? We waste it, and then the thing kills me in my sleep.
Why would it kill you?
I don't know, man. I heard it was a bad idea to give names away like that.
Sure, but if you only inform him of the name, that doesn't mean that he's gonna use the name or anything right now.
Oh.
And all he's
And it
doing
would
right
give
now
us
is
at
just
least a
information.
gold rebate.
Mm.
It would only cost a gold and a silver.
You can
Or
always you can-
lower it to a gold and a bronze if I give a name.
No, lower to a
bargain.
gold.
Just a gold? And then middle
Be
ground, a
aggressive.
gold and a bronze.
Be aggressive.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe he's a
okay.
little too drunk to realize it's not middle ground and it's more advantageous.
And I can add like another bottle of vodka.
hearing this, I'm like, you sure he's drunk? I don't think he's drunk.
I'm gonna go in front of Sticky Pete.
Okay.
Okay, so we've been thinking. We really need to find this guy.
Okay.
We're interested in your offer,
Okay.
but how about? Oh, I'm not the right person to do this. I have disability and pleasant social interactions. Do one of you
Do you
want
think-
to do this
Do you
instead?
think Stinky Pete has any kind of?
At that point, like hearing you talk, I'm like pushing Eric, like, go ahead.
What? Okay, fine. We have
And
a
I give him the.
counteroffer.
I also give you the last vodka bottle to aid in your trade.
We have a counteroffer
You-
for you.
Oh, and what is this here counter offer?
So, for your services to find the Alan that is not Alan, we are offering you 1 golden favor and a name.
A golden favor, a name, and a silver. I pay a gold for a name. Why would I cheap out now?
A gold, a bronze, and a name. And we'll make sure to make it worth your time.
And
repeated
a
visits.
vodka bottle.
The vodka bottles
You
can
see-
also be here to sweeten, yes. And I just
He
shake
looks
it
at
in
the
front of him.
vodka bottle, and you see him like swallow a bit. Says, "I think you misunderstand the wealth of gap between a bronze and a silver, my friend. because that's like waving $1 and $100. You catch my drift? They don't quite compare in magnitude, and it's not easy to judge that magnitude either. But
El-
from a jump from a silver to a bronze is quite the leap.
I look at the other two.
How about some resources? I got some cool deep one teeth that I could part with. They're
I
pretty
got a
cool.
piece.
I'm sorry.
I got a piece.
It's the
Yeah.
nickname he
Gun.
gives to his firearm.
Yeah, I know.
I got a big iron.
What's your point?
I have resources too.
All right. So you're saying you won't budge on this?
Favors, names, and booze. That's my price. And the booze like this isn't the kind that's gonna easily sway.
There's a spell in D&D that would be useful though.
Nah, if you want to bring me something, you bring me that ambrosia. You bring me the stuff the feast drink.
That Argonian blood one. I know the quest.
No,
All
he
right.
just said the stuff, the feast.
Oh, the stuff with the
Drinks.
feast. Oh, that must be so good.
Oh, goddamn.
I must be like crack cocaine, liquid heroin.
It is unlike any experience you've had.
mm. I go back to the other two, and I'm like, so we're just. Do we still do this?
I say
A golden name and a silver?
golden name, silver, and
It really doesn't seem to want to budge on this. Dude
and-
didn't even ask for a roll.
yeah,
That's a
but
bad sign.
The only way
But
he'll
he's-
budge, it seems, is if we offer him a drink of the feast, and he might lower the price at this point, just because he likes his drinks.
Do we know how to get there? I mean, I stuck my head in there once, but I couldn't get all the way in.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
but
don't think he
we
will be
we were looking for something else. If we specifically think of
The drink.
whatever they drink, probably we can find like a fountain or fucking ocean, I guess, of it.
I'm guessing he can dream too. If it's that simple, he would have gotten it himself. I'm guessing it's going to be more complicated. Or there's going to be enemies in the way at least. Like it's going to be guarded. And dreaming is like base stuff for people
Dreaming
like
so
us.
far has not given us anything that is an order of magnitude more amazing.
Yeah, some artifacts, some ingredients, useful stuff, but nothing
Ingredients, sure. Artifacts.
nothing worth a silver. Like straight up.
I turned to Stinky Pete and I'm like, do you sleep?
What?
Do you sleep?
No. He scratches his chin.
I look at the others.
I want to incite him. Did he tell the truth?
Go for it.
I know he did
Go
tell
for
the
it.
truth, but I'm not gonna press him on that.
I don't have anything for that. I'll just roll T20. There you
You can't tell.
go. I can't tell.
As far as you can tell, yeah, he's telling the truth.
We can always ask what's his name, Grash, about it. If he ever saw it or got some.
So if we get you that ambrosia, how lower would you be willing to reduce the price?
I'll lower it down to 1 gold only.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing that ambrosia is hard to get.
You have no idea.
All right.
Yeah, fuck that. Let's give him the silver ring. I don't want to get killed.
And we can look it up later, the Ambrosia thing, and it could be like in the future a good bargaining chip with him.
Yeah, no, I'm writing down that down as a note, and it's a future bargaining chip for Stinky Pete.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to do this, but I want to do this. I'm gonna give him the name. I'm down
Okay.
for that. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm kind of excited to see what happens.
Of course.
You know, risk nothing, gain nothing. I
Okay.
just hope he doesn't know the name already, because otherwise I'm giving it for nothing. So we good? We do this?
You're gonna give
Yeah,
him the
yeah.
name, and are the rest of you giving the rest of the price?
I
So
have
one gold and one silver.
Hmm.
I can
Yeah,
give
well,
him the gold I have.
I
It's
have
fine.
1 silver if needed.
alright, go.
Okay. I give a gold, give a silver,
So,
and I give a name. Okay.
do you give the silver, Manuel, or I give it?
I don't have a silver.
Oh, you have a bronze. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give the silver, which will leave me favorless.
All right. I give him the gold.
I give him the silver.
About the name.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. Come here. And he guides you to like a corner of the room. And he's like, all right. And he's looking you straight in the eye. And he says, say it.
Your name is Stinky Pete. No, I'm joking. I'm messing with you.
Of course you're messing with me. But what's his name? Its name. Her name.
Your mama.
It's your mom. No, its the name is. Fuck. Let me find it. I wrote it somewhere.
Maca con sapo.
It's. I mean, I remember it. It's the. Fuck. What is it? Can I control F this thing? The one. Oh, thank you. It's the one who stares back.
Say it properly.
What do you mean?
You're leaving out just one word, which is enough.
The
Has to
one
be
who stares
exact.
back?
Has to be exact.
What?
It has to be exact. I didn't type the one who stares back.
Oh, sorry. He who stares back.
As you say this out loud, and you're looking straight into Pete's eyes,
Uh-huh.
you're saying this, and give me a perception check.
Regret. Perception. This rolls, my guy.
You
Oh,
have he who stares back in his pupils, staring right at you.
and as I see this, I utter, "Fuck."
And Stinky Pete's just there. And he smiles. And he says, thank you. I've been trying to complete his name.
So you know who he is. You
I know
just
of him. I know of him, but
is he gonna fuck him up now?
now I know him.
Uh-huh. You didn't answer my question. Is he gonna fuck him up now? Is he gonna fuck
is
me
he-
up?
Who? He who stares back?
Yes.
No.
I mean, I just saw him in your pupils. That's not normal. That's ominous.
Of course it's normal. If he's looking at you, he's staring back from the abyss.
Right.
Are my pupils abysses?
I,
Maybe I'm touched now.
I,
Hmm.
so, unless I summon him again, I should be fine.
And you see at this point he appears to be ignoring you, and you see him grab like
Oh,
a bottle of rum, and he pours it like frantically into like a deep glass, and you see him positioning himself over, looking into the glass. No, he's not looking at me. But he is looking at you. Isn't that curious?
how is it curious? I just said his name. Of course he's looking at me.
Oh. You
What
didn't
do I
piss him
do
off,
now?
did you?
What?
Did you piss him off?
I mean,
We'd know by now.
Yeah, but I rolled a 6. I probably don't know by now. Fuck. Prepare my backup character. Okay, alright. What do I do now? What if he attacks? What if he attacks? What do I do?
Well, you say you're sorry, I guess? I don't know. I hope you have another favor on you.
I do. Do supernatural creatures take favors?
They love favors.
Really?
Yes.
That would kind of defeat the purpose of using it instead of a favor.
Using what instead of a favor?
The name.
What do you mean? The name doesn't just summon him. The name
No, I
is to
mean,
know of
I
him.
gave you the name to save 1 gold on our trade-off.
Yeah.
If I have to give him a favor to spare my life afterwards, it kind of defeats the purpose.
Who says you have to spare your life? You relax. Merely have his attention.
Oh, alright. That's cool. So you'll get to work on that, finding my doppelganger?
Of course. And thanks to
Alright.
you, I now have his gift. Alan Algae Green.
What do you mean, his gift?
I have the gift of He Who Stares Back.
Yes?
I've been trying to complete his name for quite a while, and now I have. And now, thanks to you, I have his gift.
Am I to assume that his gift means you can see everybody's full name?
Not quite. Something of the case. I know things I'm not supposed to. I'll put it like that. And for someone whose main thing is information, oh boy, is this wonderful.
How come I didn't get that gift when I learned his name?
Well, you didn't learn his full name.
Awesome. That would be a cool superpower to have.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I would.
Maybe if you get in his good graces.
Yeah, that's going to be hard after what I just did, but sure.
Well, maybe. Maybe not.
Alright, cool. Thank you. It's been real.
It has indeed been real. If I don't see you, it's been a pleasure. You smell way better than I do.
Thanks. I try to smell fish every day. So, guys, it's done. I'm
Harold's
probably gonna
a hell of a
die,
cook.
but it's cool. It's done.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It is getting very late.
It is indeed getting very late. I believe this is probably a good point to cut it.
Yep.
All right.
I'm in
And-
danger.
And Kiki, you can always explain to him that, like, yeah, we're just trying to save the whole fucking multiverse of fucking
The
the
real.
betrayer of the real.
Uh-huh.
So you needed to find him, otherwise we're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's not bad. All right. Cool.
I'm
All right.
gonna go directly to bed because, well, I am tired.
I'm gonna see if
As
Mittens
will
wants a
I.
+1.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good
Cheers,
one,
boys.
folks.
Cheers,
Cheers.
boys.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Sleep tight.